What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 9 of the Hive Mind podcast. 9 in a row. Still haven't missed one yet. We might miss one here soon because I got some news coming up.
I can't believe no one has left a comment saying Zybak says the same shit at the beginning of every.
Well, we might not be able to say it after
like the 5th episode. It's been like 6th episode. Wow,
in a row.
In a row. Wow.
Well, see, that's actually like a big deal with podcasts, especially when they're starting out. Because
but let's remind everyone that it is I want this to go until like episode 100 when it's actually a big deal, and just be like, yeah, because every episode we keep saying it.
Well, I've got some news, but go ahead. Do you have anything interesting happen this week in real life?
No, just I talked about having that fraudulent check that I got in the mail.
Yeah.
What happened this week for old Dontain is like I got a bit of comeuppance, man. I did I talked about how I did that commercial work.
Yeah.
For that place that I didn't want to like throw them under the bus, and it's a good thing I didn't because because I try to conduct myself as a professional, and if I had done so, then that would have given them a bad name. But what happened was on Monday, I got a letter in the mail that said, I'm a lawyer and I represent this like group of 40-something people. Your name is on the list of people who worked for this company, but we don't know what you did for them. Call me. And I'm like, okay, call him. He's like, this is a class action sort of thing. Yeah. It's not big time, but these people defrauded a bunch of people in running their gym basically. And I'm like, okay. And the guy's like, well, what did you do? I'm like, well, I edited video for a terrestrial commercial for their gym. And they go, okay. And then they look in their records and like, what was the amount that you agreed upon? And I was like, well, for the time it took, for the amount of hours that went into it, it was around $2,300 because it took about a month and a half to finish all that work. And he's like, okay, we'll get back to you. 2 days later, I get a UPS like envelope. And it's just an envelope from that guy. He's like, here's your money that they frauded you for. Have a good fucking day. And, if you need legal advice, come to me again. That sort of like businessy man handshakey shit. And I'm like, what? So then, I know, right? So I'm sitting there going, okay, it's so fucking cold in Minnesota all this week. My car wouldn't start. Now, my bank isn't that far away, but I was still questionable of this check. I'm like, okay, I just got a check sent to me last week that I took to the bank and they said this is a fraudulent check. And now I'm getting this like story from this guy. Then there's a check in the mail. I'm like, I don't know what to believe. I don't know what to do. So I'm like, well, if I walk to my bank when it's 24 degrees below zero out, I'm going to fucking hate it. So I just wait 4 days. Uh-huh. And then yesterday, I got a jump from my friend Rocco. I go to the bank. I'm sitting there with this check, nervous as hell, because I'm like, this isn't real. And it clears. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then like the next day, which would have been this morning because I couldn't touch the money until next business day, I wake up today and I go to my bank and I'm like, ma'am, I'd like to make 3 money orders for $308. And that's how much my fucking rent is. And I just paid my rent off for 3 months. So suck a dick, everyone else.
Oh, that's good.
Fucking
glad you got some justice there. That's crazy. You just got a random fucking. What'd you get? You say email or call or
no? It was a package. It was just like one of those.
That's really weird.
One of those. Yeah, that's why I was like freaking out about it too, because it's just one of those.
That's good though. So you actually have a little bit of a nest egg now. You're not living on the edge quite as hard.
I'm not one of them 62% no more. Yay!
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's a good reference.
It only took a few years.
Sick reference. So what? How long ago was it when you did this work?
It was July and August.
Wow. So it took damn near a year almost for you to. 6 months for them to fuck up. Yeah. They could have been running their business legitimately and not been. What happened was they probably just screwed over one too many people. Yeah.
And then everyone was
fucked over the wrong person.
Right. And they didn't beat cheeks fast enough to get out of the situation where they got caught and then somebody filed civil lawsuit or something.
Yeah.
And so great, hooray.
Yeah, I got some email about PayPal and
some class action lawsuit that I'm apparently able to get in on if I want to. Apparently they fucked up and were overcharging people or some shit. I don't know if that's a phishing email. Like, I haven't looked at it in depth too much because it seems like it's one of those kind of like scammy looking things, but it could be legit. I don't know.
Yeah,
I haven't looked into it.
Let's say it is, and sometimes in situations, because I've heard that some people, when they go like, "Oh, I'm part of a class action lawsuit," blah blah blah. All right, and they get like a check for like $1.
Yeah, that's what I think. I'm not that worried about it because I don't recall PayPal charging me any insane amounts of money for anything. Like, it would maybe be maybe $100 at most. I just don't see why it would even be worth my fucking time to give a shit. But yeah, that's cool, man. I'm glad you got some justice. That's funny that we talked about it on the last podcast, and you finally got. It's funny how that all happened in a week.
Now I can do cool shit like put insurance on my car and apply for jobs for delivery work, and we'll see. Maybe next week I'll be working. I'll be like, "Yo, dog,
that'd be good.
I deliver pizzas."
Looking a little fucking down in the dumps as of like the last podcast. It's just fuck.
I feel so fucking great. I feel good today.
Yeah. So you still have you got a check for $2,600 or something?
$2,300.
Cool. And your rent is paid for ahead of time, or did you?
No, I just paid off February, March, and April's rent.
Nice. So you're like in the clear for a while. And
Yeah. I handed them right to my landlord. I didn't want to go through any stupid shit, drop it in the box. Whoa, somebody must have replaced it. and I was just like, "Can I do this?" And she's like, "You're not really allowed to because our rent goes up every year." But I'm like, "Whatever." And she's just like, "You've had such a hard time. I'll just take these and I'll deposit them as the months come. That way, no one's asking questions." I'm like, "Thanks, lady." So, now I have a little bit left over to screw around with. But I obviously was sitting there going like, "No,
you did that in check form, right? You paid your rent with checks.
Money orders apparently don't exist anymore. They're considered cashier's checks or whatever the fuck. They just changed the name of them.
Yeah.
Those money orders.
Yeah, you did it with paper, though, not actual, like, money.
With paper. They don't accept cash. If you were to bring cash...
Well, I lived in a sketchy-ass place that accepted cash. I've lived in a few. But yeah, I'm just making sure you can't get fucked over by your landlord. Like, "Oh, you didn't pay me."
No. My previous landlord is like that, where she's like, "I must have misplaced it. You're going to have to make another..." Like, fuck you, lady.
So
this new landlord's really cool. And I'm not going to lie. I went into like consumer mode immediately. I was like, what is it that I can get that I need?
Ooh.
And then I immediately, because I've been doing this for a long time, being poor for a long time, I mean. And I immediately went, let's just fucking wait.
Yeah.
Just fucking wait a while, okay?
Definitely a good move. But yeah, the first apartment I lived in, there's actually YouTube videos of this. I would literally pay my landlord in cash, and he's like, "Yeah, if you could, preferably in cash." Like, it was real sketchy now that I think back about it. I mean, he never ripped me off or anything, but he's like, "Yeah, you can pay with a check, but I'd really prefer if you paid in cash." It's like, all right, whatever. He was a cool dude, but I literally paid my rent by walking up to his house because he lived right beside the apartment complex, and by sliding a fucking envelope underneath his door. I swear to God, that's how I paid my rent.
And that's really weird because it's just whenever I hear preferably in cash, the only thing I hear is
sketchy.
The only thing I hear is so that you can spend it immediately, right?
No, it's probably more like so there's not a paper trail, so he doesn't have to pay taxes on it. So that's the real reason. But no, he was a cool dude. Whatever. I mean, I'm not saying he was cheating on his taxes or anything. I'm not accusing him of that. But I'm just saying it was a little, whatever. Nothing bad happened. It's fine. But so now that you got your real life story out of the way, I have some fucking cool news. Okay. So are you familiar with the Paragon MOBA? Have you heard of it?
No.
It's a new AAA MOBA coming out that is essentially like an action game. It's not top-down like League of Legends or Dota. Those games you like click around and it's like traditional whatever. This is actually like third-person Gears of War-esque kind of gameplay where you're controlling from that perspective. And it's AAA, real deal. It's probably the best-looking MOBA to have ever, hit the market. Well, it's not out yet, but looks good. Looks really good aesthetically. And I got invited to a community event because they saw that I was interested in the game, and they invited me to Epic Games headquarters in North Carolina. And they're paying for my hotel, and they were going to fly me out there, but I just said, fuck it, I'll drive, because for me to fly out there would take like 4 hours, and for me to drive there would take 3. So it's like, why the fuck would I fly? But yeah, I'm heading out there on the 29th through the 31st, which is why I was saying that the podcast record might get ended. We might have to do a show really early, 2 weeks from now. We might have to do it on like Thursday or Wednesday or something, because I will be gone on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at that event. And apparently there's going to be a bunch of other YouTubers, and it should be pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, that sounds great. I mean, I'm looking at the gameplay. It's like a 50-second long video.
Yeah.
It looks interesting.
Yeah, it's definitely legit. It's not one of those like shitty ass like not saying that indie devs are shitty, but you know, it's AAA, like it's legit from a legit company, not like just a bunch of people in their basement.
It doesn't look like a quickly made cash grab.
Yep.
Is kind of what you're getting at.
You can tell they've been working on it for a while.
Yeah, it looks okay. I mean, it's space themed, it seems, or that's just this map.
Like futuristic.
I'm seeing like some of the skills and stuff look really cool.
Yeah, but they have like a cinematic out, and they've got a little bit of gameplay. But I'm actually excited for I mean, obviously, I'm excited for the event and just like going out there and checking it out, because Epic Games is, you know, they made a lot of cool games like Gears of War and fuck.
There they are, right there. They're like, hey man.
So I'm excited to just go out there and hang out with some people, and they're taking us out to dinner, and I don't know, it's pretty fucking cool.
They're paying for you a place for you to stay?
Yeah, they're paying for my hotel. They would have paid for my flight if I decided to fly out there, but I'm not. And then they're taking us out. And
this was just because you showed interest in the game. Did you sign up for like the beta or something?
I did sign up for the beta, but I was like talking on Twitter, and I was like, hey, you know, I'm not really a MOBA guy, but this looks kind of sweet. And I don't know, I was just generally just interested in the game. And then the community manager for the game said, hey, we're interested. Hey, we like that you're interested in the game. Check your email. And I check my email, and I see this thing about them like wanting to fly me out to come check out the game for this community event they're doing.
That's really cool. I was thinking like it's probably also like good for location since you're not too far away. But again, since other YouTubers will be there, they're gonna be from not, you know,
I'm curious how many people are coming. I think it's a decent amount. Yeah, I think it's going to be quite a few people.
Yeah,
but I'm excited for the event. But I'm also excited for the game. I think the game is fucking cool, because I've always liked the idea of MOBAs, but I just can't, the top down clicking, dude. I just can't do it. Like, it loses me. Like, just clicking around, and
it's definitely a learning curve for sure.
It's not so much that the learning curve. Like, obviously there's a learning curve. That the learning curve isn't the thing that detracts from it for me. I just don't like the clicking around in the top down view. Like, I just can't get past it. It's just, it would be like a guy that just doesn't like first person shooters but likes third person shooters. There's just like something about it, just, I don't know, the disconnect. It just makes it not as fun as if I was playing a character like you do in Paragon. Like, you see in the Paragon gameplay where you're like actually the character and you move around in like a 3D environment. And it's not like a 2D plane that you're playing on; it's 3D. So I think that's gonna be pretty cool. It's more like Smite, if you need a comparison. It's more like Smite and less like League.
This kind of, if you were, so I'm still looking at gameplay of it. If you were to say, what do you think this game would be called, and I didn't know it was already called Paragon, I would say it's something like Halo meets Smite, because it feels very like. It's got a Halo kind of vibe to it as far as the aesthetics and stuff. It looks really cool.
They're doing some cool shit. I just think it's going to be fun to play it and be like... So the way they're doing the map, like the map is a traditional MOBA map with the top lane, mid lane, bottom lane, and jungle. But so the top lane... So the middle lane is in a canyon, and the top lane is on a mountain, and the bottom lane is on a mountain. So if you want to see what's going on in the top lane, you actually like go and look. Like you look up. And the jungle is depressed. Fuck, I turned my phone on vibrate.
It's them again. They're tweeting you. They're like, hey, man.
Oh, that was my tablet. Son of a bitch. I don't even know how to mute this thing. Fuck it. I don't even know how to... I don't ever fuck with my tablet. But anyway, shit. Where was I going? So
I see what you mean, though. You have to, like, you can actually look down and see.
You actually look. Like, it's not like with League of Legends where you just put your camera on free mode and fucking just zoom up there and see what's going on. You actually like take your character and look up, and people can be like at higher elevations and stuff, whereas traditional MOBAs are kind of just played on a 2D plane, which is fine. You know, I don't have any issue with that, but I just think playing in this 3D space as these characters with these like ridiculous abilities will be cool. Is the video you watched the one with the shield guy, the tank guy?
The orange guy, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that shit where he like throws that shield out. I don't know, it's gonna be crazy. I'm looking forward to playing the game, and I'm obviously looking forward to the event. So it's
I like looking at gameplay footage like this because I'm not seeing some shit that's just pulled from another game and reskinned.
Yeah, it's different.
This all looks very much like their own unique ideas.
Yeah, it's definitely a MOBA. Like I've watched some interviews and looked up some stuff online. It's very much a MOBA in the sense that, you know, there's minions and there's towers, and you got to kill the fucking thing at the end, the inhibitors, and the whatever the big thing at the very end is. It's very much still that, but the gameplay is not clicking around. And I feel like they have a big market, I feel like, of potential people that will like this game, just because I don't think a lot of people that don't play MOBAs, I don't think it's that they don't play them because they don't like the idea of team fights and like creeps and stuff like that. I think they just really can't get past the gameplay of top-down clicking around.
No, it's true.
Like, I like to watch League of Legends competitively. Like, I like to watch the pros and when they do all that crazy shit and all the crazy coordination they have. I like to watch it, but I just hate to play it. I fucking hate playing it. It's just, I don't know, I can't do it.
Yeah, I'm looking at the characters and they look all like fleshed out.
Yeah, the game looks aesthetically like fucking ridiculous too.
I was actually a little disappointed. I saw that there's a name for the big orange guy, and his name is Steel, and I was disappointed because his name should have just been Tangerine. It looks like this super serious fucking game where it's like all this serious gameplay, and I just want the characters to be named like goofy shit. It's like, I'm playing Tangerine. Yeah, no, fuck you. His name is Steel. He'll kill you. There's a character that looks like a rhino, and he has a katana or something. That's neat.
Yeah, there's some cool characters. I'm looking forward to it, and so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try and get a bunch of like questions. I'm gonna try to sit down with one of the developers. No fucking promises here, obviously. But I'm gonna try to sit down with one of the developers and make a video, like a Q&A style video. So if you have any like hard hitting questions you want to know about the game, because I don't want to have like a pussyfoot jerk off like the game interview.
Stereotypical bullshit interview.
Yeah. So if you have any questions that you're just wondering about, let me know in the comments down below, and I'll try to work on having a good, question list. And a lot of them they probably won't be able to answer, so keep that in mind. But still, shoot them off. Let me know.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah, that's all I got to say about that. I'm looking forward to that. So that's on the 19th, or not 19th, 29th to the 31st. So we will definitely, hopefully, be able to do a podcast a little earlier in that week, because I will be gone pretty much all 3 of those days. So yeah, you got a topic you wanna pitch, or you want me to just shoot one off?
I just want to make everyone aware. When I say like when I say like all I do each day is to go out and look for work and then come home, relax, and game. That's literally what I do every day, except on the weekends. So when you showed me this video of this kid pranking or whatever it was like killed my best friend prank video, and you had this like reaction to it and I had none, just to remind everybody, I didn't know who fucking Sam Pepper was. I thought you were just showing me some stupid bullshit video, but apparently Sam Pepper's like this asshole kid who was on Big Brother in like Europe, and then he's been doing these pranking videos and stuff. So old news, I understand. But now you can kind of understand where I was coming from, where I'm like, I don't give a fuck about this. Because I wasn't aware that there's this asshole who's running around doing this shit. And apparently he tried selling his YouTube account. He created a GoFundMe, and he basically said like, oh, well, if it hits $1.5 million, then I'll close my account. And then he immediately made a video saying, well, not that many people went to his GoFundMe, and it's like, whatever, no big deal. Some shit. I'm like, what a fucking idiot.
It's not the same as selling your account. It's closing it down.
Right.
If he tried to sell his account, then he would get in trouble with Google.
Well, I think the transaction basically was people want him to be removed from YouTube, but he's like, I'll remove myself once you pay me. And it's like this fucking concept that would never work. And so he's just a stupid person. Now that I have read up about this guy, it's just he's so dumb.
I don't know if he's dumb. It's just that he's really unlikable.
That's a good way to put it. He's an unlikable prick because it's like it's stupid. And he's like, well, it only got to 80,000, but I gave everybody the money back.
Oh, so okay.
I guess I'm just gonna whatever.
And what was the original? What was his GoFundMe page for? Like, what was
to shut his YouTube off?
Oh, that was the only thing?
Yes. I believe so, according to what I read. But it's just like, what the
hell? Fucking idiots.
It's that, and then the San Bernardino thing, I did not, I'm not kidding when I say this, I did not know about that. I did not know that happened. And then when you brought it up, and when we were talking about Trump, obviously, and you brought it, like, what about San Bernardino? And I'm like, what about it? It's a nice place. Well, unless
you're actively... Yeah, it's really easy to not know about... It's really easy to not know about shit, because I did the same thing when I was really into Wildstar and stuff. I just didn't keep up with the news. And since we don't watch traditional TV anymore, it's hard... It's easy to just not know about shit if you just don't care to know about it. Whereas, like, back in the 90s and 80s, you would know about stuff just because if you watch TV at all, then you would just slowly... news is everywhere. Whether it's it's everywhere if you just watch TV.
I mean, I always make a habit to watch TYT for my news, but for like the last maybe 3 months in a row, I've just been really hardcore looking for work to the point where I haven't caught up on any news. So even when Ken was like...
TYT, is that the Young Turks?
The Young Turks, yeah. And
I like some of the stuff they do, but like they did something real cringe, and we'll talk about that a little later.
Okay, well, and so Ken would even bring shit up. He's like, did you hear about this? And I'm like, no. So, and he's just like, I can't believe you didn't hear about that. And I just turn around and go, I can't believe you didn't know that the Roman Reigns punched Vince McMahon in the face. There's no difference between two of them. So,
yeah. So, funny you bring that up. I actually posted something on my Facebook. Apparently, Donald Trump did shit with the WWE.
Oh, a long time ago, yeah.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Let me
it was supposed to be like billionaire versus billionaire. I don't think he never wrestled.
I'm sure you know what it is.
Oh, sure. What it was Vince McMahon put together a team of dudes to go up against Donald Trump, and Donald Trump could pick any wrestlers that he wanted.
Look at that gif.
Okay.
I put that up on my Facebook and said future president of the United States. What a fucking glorious Trump-tastic gif. Holy shit. So for all the people listening, essentially Donald Trump comes into the frame and tackles Vince McMahon and is just punching him in the face. And then he gets up and walks away with this like swagger.
Yeah, this was WrestleMania 23. Yeah, I remember this.
The fact that this guy can be president is so fucking hilarious.
Oh, yeah. He clotheslines him, punches him in the face, punches him in the face a couple of times and turns around and just like walks away. By the way, also, Donald Trump doesn't look any different.
I know.
Today. This is nearly a decade ago.
Yeah,
he does look the same.
Yeah, he must like suck the life out of people or something.
He sucked the life out of Road Dogg right there. He's the one trying to do the... Oh, no, that's Austin. He's trying to be the guest referee. Yeah.
That is hilarious, though.
That's a thing that happened. They were actually like... It was a drama thing. People thought it was real that Vince McMahon and Donald Trump were bitching at each other.
Real is a fucking idiot. Come on.
And it's worse now because there's no suspension of disbelief. Because I can't even enjoy the stories. It's like... None of this is believable.
Yeah.
Even though it's obviously just fake fighting. It's dudes in a ring fake fighting, but I can't enjoy the story because I can tell you John Cena will win. Even though, unfortunately, everyone is fucking injured in wrestling right now in WWE. John Cena's injured. Seth Rollins is injured.
That shit's hard on people's bodies.
Taxing to your body. And so
I didn't realize they did it so often and so frequently.
Yeah.
I remember seeing some interview with Brock Lesnar, and they asked what was harder, doing the WWE or doing UFC. And he said that doing the WWE was harder just because you have to go out. They do that shit like every week or like multiple times a week. Yeah, whereas with the UFC, they prepare for a fight for like 8 months, and they fight like, 2-3 times a year. And that's like a lot for a lot of these fighters. It's like a pretty busy schedule.
There are house shows throughout the week. Like they'll do Monday Night Raw on a Monday. They film SmackDown on a Tuesday. Wednesday's a house show. NXT happens on Wednesday. And then they film some house show shit Fridays too. And that's everyone. not every wrestler, but a lot of the roster wrestles. But a lot of people are injured now, so you have all these really boring characters who are like low card. They're like lower on the card, and it's like trotting out these guys who like you don't give a fuck about wrestling.
No,
this is me not giving a fuck about wrestling, and I actually enjoy wrestling. That's how bad it is. When I'm fucking criticizing it, it's bad. So yeah,
it must be.
We need Donald Trump to come back.
Yeah, that would be interesting. So you want to switch topics here?
Let's move on.
ESPN is now going to have dedicated esports coverage.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, so it's funny because a lot of these like ESPN personalities were really against it, and now it's a thing that they're doing. I'm not sure what I think of like esports being called real sports and being treated like real sports. Like, I get that it takes, I don't know, part of me like kind of doesn't like it, but I don't dislike it that much either. It's just kind of weird to like put them on the same pedestal as like actual athletes like LeBron James and, you know, whatever.
If someone's doing that, you need to stop. But I like the fact that ESPN is shining a light on it and giving it a stage to be seen, because it's worth seeing. More people should actually see these things, because I think people who don't even game, who might go, why is video games on ESPN? Even those people, a percentage of them will probably go, hey, this is pretty fucking entertaining.
Yep, I agree. It definitely needs to be seen, and I don't think it's wrong that it's on TV, but I do think I do think that like it is kind of annoying where people do go like, esports and sports are the same thing. It's just like, no.
I've only heard that.
Fucking kidding.
I've only heard that in a few instances where they've said like, to get your passport to compete in the United States or in another country, people who play like sports, like Olympians, have to do this, and now esports people have to do it. Like, it's on that same level of competition or the same level of athleticism.
Oh, it's still competition though.
It is.
Like, I have no issue with esports people being able to get visas to enter the country to compete. I have no issue with that. In fact, I think the U.S. should be a lot more lax on letting people in with that kind of shit, because there's a lot of YouTubers that I'm friends with that make fucking really good money, and they want to come to the United States, and they want to pay taxes. They want to live here, and they make fuckloads of money, and they want to just live here and pay taxes and just exist in Los Angeles. Mm-hmm. And they fucking can't, because our government's like, nah, fuck you coming to our country and paying the high tax, being in the high tax bracket. It's fucking insane.
Oh yeah. Speaking of, I did want to bring this up. My brain just didn't remember to remind myself to bring it up. Markiplier's channel got hacked. Did you hear about that? Yeah.
Oh, so what I heard is that it didn't get hacked. It's just that somebody found an exploit on how to upload videos to anyone's YouTube channel. It's not that somebody got into his account and was like, this is my understanding of what happened. It's not that somebody got into his account and was uploading videos from his account. It's that somebody figured out some sort of workaround to just be able to upload a video from his account.
That I don't want to believe is true, because I'm trying to find it.
Because when I looked at his channel, all of his shit was still there. Like, no, that like the channel wasn't like taken down or anything like that. My understanding of the situation was that that these people just found a way like to where they could upload a video and have it go to anyone's channel. So like if they want to do it to my channel, then they could just upload a video to my channel without having my password and that kind of shit.
I'm still searching for this image. They hacked all of his shit. They hacked his Twitter, they hacked his YouTube, and they hacked, because they knew certain data for his YouTube. They logged into his Maker Gen account, where you can see your dashboard and how much money you make. And
well, you might know more than I do. You do more than I do.
So I'm trying to find this.
Yeah, I did see the screenshot of his of how much money he's making.
Oh, so you did see it? Okay.
Yeah, good. I saw that. I just didn't know where it was from.
Yeah, it's like nearly $700,000 in the month of November.
Yeah, but he gets a fuckload of views. It's like nuts.
And there's a little to do. People were talking about it and shit, and I felt like it's a lot of fucking people talking about how like, oh, look at that. All he does is make videos and he makes that much money.
Yeah, he's got such an insane amount of influence though. Like, he's underpaid, if anything.
Right, but
like,
it's a lot of people speaking on a topic that they know nothing about.
Exactly.
So it's just like, yeah, trust me, the guy makes a lot of money. Granted. But guess what? Pays fucking taxes.
Yep.
Pays more. That guy probably paid more in tax than major corporations.
Than Google.
Yeah.
2.4%.
And he's generous with his money. He donates to many charities. The guy's just a fucking all right person, but they did hack him. And they've been doing this over the course of like the last 2 weeks. They just hack accounts. And they put up their little music video. And in the description it says, we hacked you, DM us so that we can give you the information to get your account back. So what they do is they hack your Twitter. They make your Twitter follow their Twitter so that you can DM them. So, and it's not malicious. They're just trying to
they posted out how much fucking money he makes. That's a little malicious.
Yeah, they probably shouldn't have done that, but they don't, again, like you said, they don't take the videos and remove the channel and do all that because that'd be devastating. But yeah, I find it just really annoying.
Yeah, I mean, YouTube probably has some good anti-hack shit. I guess.
Yeah, and this is only good for the future of YouTube security because if these guys are doing something, YouTube's going to be like, all right, we got to fix this because if these people were malicious and they wanted to actually close all these accounts, that's a lot of residual income that Google is not making that money.
Even if my account got hacked and all my videos got deleted or something, it would suck. But YouTube's they've got to have some sort of thing in place for that. I'm sure they do.
A backup.
They've been around for so long, and it's happened to so many other big YouTubers where their channel gets hacked. It's whatever. I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, I just thought that was interesting because I never really had an idea, a ballpark amount of money that he made per month, but I knew it was a lot. But seeing the number actually kind of, honestly, seeing that number inspired me.
Exactly.
Because I'm like, yeah, this is cool, man. All right.
It shows that there's a lot of money in the YouTube ecosystem, and it's only going to get bigger. And what a lot of people don't want to realize is that Markiplier guy has more influence than a lot of celebrities that make a lot more than him. Mm-hmm. Like, he is essentially a movie star.
And he's made a lot of smart moves not to step into like mainstream shit. Like, he's not. I mean, maybe we'll see it in the future as careers tend to wane and you get towards the end of like you wanting to do this.
But I won't gonna be the new mainstream. Like, YouTube is the new mainstream for
right. But what I'm saying is, like, so far we haven't seen like Kids Choice Awards on Nick hosted by Markiplier. We haven't seen shit yet. I'm not saying we're never gonna, but I feel like those are moves that he's making so that he doesn't cross that line. Because we've seen YouTubers cross that line, and it's like It's Fred. Fred is not entertaining. It's just, I'm sorry, whatever producer invested money in Fred, and you lost a lot. I know you did. It's not entertaining. It's internet entertaining. The Annoying Orange. Yeah, get that shit off of Cartoon Network because it's not funny. It's funny on the internet, but it's not funny next to like prime time cartoons that you want to, you know what I mean? It's like the middle slot between two decent shows, and it's like, what's this Annoying Orange shit? It's, I don't know, but
yeah.
That's an interesting thing. I was like, yeah, it's cool. Mark got his account back. He's probably not going to say anything about it like a smart person would.
Yeah.
And it gives Keemstar something to talk about.
Dude, do you hear about... You were right.
What?
You were talking on the last podcast about Keemstar, like, what if this Keemstar guy gets... You said something along the lines of, like, what happens if this Keemstar guy gets it wrong and accidentally ruins somebody's life? And then that fucking happened, like, literally the day after you said that shit.
Oh, yeah.
He literally the fucking day after you said that, he accused some guy of being a pedophile, and he, like, it was some guy that looked like some other pedophile, and it wasn't actually him.
It was a quote-unquote news story that they broke on that channel, like, 2 weeks ago about how an old man was sent to prison for touching children, and now he wasn't an old man when he was in prison. He was in for like 30 years. Now he's out and he's live streaming RuneScape, which was not true. And anyone with half a brain can tell you that this Keemstar guy is going to fuck up a lot because he's not real, credible journalistic news. It's him and a bunch of people he has on Skype that are sending him fucking shit. And his whole thing about how he admitted that we got it wrong, how they figured out that they got it wrong was that one of his people on Skype looked at the picture of the guy, the pedophile guy on Twitter, looked at the picture of the old man playing Twitch and went, Yup, that's like the same old people.
Yeah.
It's the same guy. And then guess what? All of these Keemstar, these Drama Alert troll fucks, they go to his stream, calling him a pedophile. This old man breaks down on his stream, starts crying, and then says, hold on, I gotta go. I gotta get a cup of coffee. I'll be back. He has to unwind a bit. He turns his stream off. 24 hours later, this old man, he's just grinding and having a fun time in RuneScape. The next fucking day, right? Keemstar says, look, we fucked up. That's not him. We're sorry. So now all these people who were like, yeah, fuck that pedophile, they turn around and they start like just blaming Keemstar. So they're heel turning on Keemstar. At the same time, they're going to this old man's Twitch and being like, I forget what his name was, Tony or something. They were like, dude, you're the coolest fucking old man ever. And people just lighting his chat up.
Like I don't see this as like the dude came off all right. Apparently the Drama Alert, they're like flying him out to some RuneScape thing as like an apology, whatever. It's fine.
Even though the old man said, I don't know who that person is, referencing Keemstar. I don't care what he said about me. I know who I am. My friends know who I am. I don't want his money. I don't want to speak to him. I don't want to talk to him. But if Keemstar and friends want to fucking say, yeah, we're flying him out to a thing. Well, fuck you. I don't care if you're flying him out to a thing. What you're doing is malicious and wrong, and you're making money by doing it.
Yeah,
and you fucked up, and you're gonna fuck up a lot, Keemstar. You're gonna fuck up, and you're gonna fuck up so many times.
He's gonna fuck up again, obviously.
People are gonna turn on you and eat you alive, and then you're gonna make another channel, and it's gonna be Keemstar Plays Minecraft or some shit. That pisses me off so much. They did the same thing with Yami Mash too. He wasn't guilty of any pedophilia shit. He's guilty of flirting with a girl who was underage at a convention.
I don't know the details.
Yeah, you don't know the details. You'll know the details when Keemstar has to make another video where he's like, sorry, we got it wrong.
Whatever. He's going to get it wrong again. And the bottom line is that people really don't care.
Enjoy the entertainment of this asshole while it lasts, because this dude is like...
Yeah, he's got to be careful, because he could get in like actual legal trouble for defamation if he does this to the wrong person.
Mm-hmm. Especially the wrong person with a lot of money, a.k.a. Markiplier. Look at the kind of money that guy makes. And so...
Yeah, you can get in trouble, but it's... I don't know.
That's a lot of money. Let's think about this. Maybe there's... Look at Yami Mash. 1.5 million subscribers. Gets a lot of views on his videos. Guesstimate how much that fucking guy makes. And I'm pretty sure it's enough to hire a lawyer and come after your fucking bearded ass. And you'd be fucking done.
Yeah, so... from my understanding of like how defamation works, if there is some like truth to what you're saying, then you're kind of in the clear. Like if you get some details wrong, then you're not like completely fucked. Like you can't just get sued over like getting a small detail wrong.
It has to be a defamation.
Yeah, it has to be something along the lines of what Keemstar did to that old guy, where he just got literally the wrong fucking person. Like he had nothing to do with any of what he just said. Like, that old guy probably would have a case against Keemstar, but the Yami Mash guy, probably not. Because from what I saw, from what Keemstar was saying, it was like, yes and no kind of thing.
It isn't real journalism, and that's why it's just
and I don't think anyone's calling it that.
He's calling it that.
He's calling it that, but none of the people that are watching... all the people that are watching just do it for the fucking lulz.
Of course they do. And then they go fucking to this old man's Twitch and berate the crap out of him and call him a pedophile for the lulz. I get that. Everyone that's involved in this back and forth, whether it's positive, going back to the old man and saying, yo, you're cool. You're fucking creep bad people too. You believe this scumbag, and then you go over there and it's I gotta go apologize.
A lot more before it was like everyone's a fucking pedophile. Like I liked it when it was like actual like the typical YouTube drama stuff. Because I kind of like that. Maybe I'm like a little like teenage girl inside when it comes to like YouTube drama and like stuff like that.
Sure. I liked Drama Alert before it became Keemstar on Skype with two people who have opposite opinions of each other, and then his fucking ass sitting there eating popcorn, like, ooh, isn't this? And then he would say some shit to like poke one of them to like entice the other to like fight back against the other one, like he's just instigating bullshit.
Yeah.
When that started happening, I'm like, this is done for me. You're just a scumbag with a daughter, and shut the fuck up. What a dick. What a fucking dick.
No, he's a dick. Yeah, I'm not going to say he's a good guy. He's done some shit that's, like, awful. But, one of the things that I think is hilarious that he does, and again, it's terrible, he calls it Operation False Hope, so it's against the YouTube... God. it's against the YouTube terms of service to go and dislike bomb a video on a live stream. Like, you can't just have a live stream and go, everybody go dislike this video and talk shit. You can't do that. It's against the rules. But what he does is he goes on his live stream and goes to random YouTube videos that have, like, 5 views and no likes, and he gets all of the people to go in and go, this is the greatest video ever. You should keep on doing this. Great job. And just, like, encourage the shit out of these people. So, like, these people wake up with a video that had, like, 5 views, and they come back, and their video the next day is like, oh my god!
Yeah.
It's so awful.
And that sounds like a nice thing to do for people to, like, say, hey, go encourage this person.
Oh, it's not nice. It's the most sarcastic shit ever. Like, people are like, this video, like, it'll be like a kid, it'll be a video of, like, a 10-year-old kid eating his own boogers, and there'll be people leaving comments like, this video changed my life. And they'll take a channel that had, like, no subscribers, and, like, legit, it'll go from, like, no subscribers to, like, 25,000 subscribers and, like, 10,000 likes on that video, and they'll come back and think they actually made the greatest thing ever.
Now imagine he has the influence to send people to videos that are quality, but they don't get a lot of views. And he actually said, hey, you know what? This is really good shit. This person's very not well known. I encourage everyone to go check it out. Leave a nice comment. Leave a like.
That's not as entertaining.
And subscribe. Well, no, it's not as, but it can be, because it can be philanthropy. I mean, there are legit diamonds in the rough out there who people. Jacksepticeye is a very entertaining guy, but no one would have ever seen him if PewDiePie hadn't have found this kid.
Yeah, I've actually found a few people. Like, I do this YouTube top 10 series on my channel every now and then when I find, like, 10 really crazy videos. And I try to find them from channels that, like, no one knows about. And I found this dude that plays, it's gonna sound stupid, but he does this thing called, like, air trumpet, where he plays, like, essentially his hand and makes sounds with his hands. And he did a Game of Thrones thing. And I posted that on my top 10 series, and people were like, what the fuck is this? And legit, the video had, like, 50 views before I put it up, and now it's got, like, a few thousand because people shared it. And
that's good.
So yeah, I patrol around some weird places where I find some shit like that every now and then.
Yeah.
But that's not as entertaining as Operation False Hope. And then it's terrible. It's so mean, but it is so fucking funny when people are like, "Oh my god, I think I'm gonna quit my job and do this full time now." Like, that was legit one of the people's first reactions.
Well, yeah, you're naive if you're new to the internet. Dumb. I mean, if you're falling for the joke, and I'm not denying that kind of content shouldn't be made. I get why it's entertaining and funny. It's wrapped around a guy like Keemstar, who is a fucking asshole.
Oh yeah.
It's like, all right, whatever. Like,
but it won't hurt him.
It's easy. It's easy to do. It's fucking not that difficult to fucking do. So it's like, okay.
He got this shit wrong, but the thing is that no one really cares that much. Like, in a month or two, no one's gonna give a shit, and it's gonna be back to old business. He
just can't. I'm just saying, he can't get shit wrong on a consistent basis. This can't fucking happen. And talking about drama between two YouTubers and stuff, that's never gonna bite him in the ass. Never. That's just commentary and his opinion and stuff. But once he starts going like, ooh, this person, one of my Skype,
one of my Skype nothing people, to do with it.
Yeah, one of my Skype people found out that Yammy Mash might have had pics of an underage girl on his phone. Well, how did he find that out, asshole? Oh yeah, because one of your friends is a hacker who hacked into some shit that he shouldn't have ever seen. Oh, and whoops, I'm Keemstar. That news happened to fall in my lap. I might as well fucking broadcast it to the world. That's what I don't like. Just don't fuck up, man. It's entertainment. Just don't fuck up.
Yep. All right, well, enough of Keemstar. I'm sure people have had their fucking fill of Keemstar on our podcast for the last 2 weeks. Oh, yeah. Blade and Soul comes out, or I guess it's out now. Are you into that? You familiar with that game?
I really haven't dived into it. I looked at it. People were like, you should play it. And I'm like, all right, I'll give it a look and see how I feel about it. But I didn't think it came out yet. But
it's been out for like 4 hours or something.
Oh, so the 15th?
Yeah.
I thought it was the 19th.
Yeah, I'm looking at it on Twitch. It's got 66,000 people watching it.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm curious who all is playing it. Lyric is playing it, Soda Pop and Rifle. I thought about maybe getting it, but apparently the game has no substance other than 1v1 arenas. Like, that's like essentially all of the end game, and everything else is like shitty. Like, there are dungeons, but apparently they're so fucking easy and stupid that no one gives a shit. Yeah. The combat does look sick, but I've heard that it's, I don't know. I need to look into it more. I hope I'm wrong. I would like the game to play just for fun, but I don't think this is it. Sadly.
Yeah. I mean, for me, a lot of people know, if you know me, you know that if it's NCSoft related, I probably won't touch it. And it is NCSoft related. And so it's like, well, you know, if it ends up being really boring, I told you so. You know?
See, the thing that has me skeptical about Blade and Soul is that this game is like 5 years old, and it's really not that different from when it originally came out.
Mm-hmm.
It's an old game. I think this is really typical of a lot of the games that get westernized. Like, I just don't think they're very good in the U.S. Like, games that were good in Asia and they try to transition over to the U.S. because there's just not ever that much.
Believe it or not, game developers, different cultures feel different ways about your entertainment in another country.
Well, Blade and Soul's actually been dying off in the Asian countries, like, because there wasn't enough content. Like, that's what I've been reading online about Blade and Soul, is that...
So they're basically trying to reap the rest of the money that they can make from it by giving it to us. And they've already given it to the Russians as well.
It seems like it. That's kind of the vibe I've been getting, is that a lot of the Asians have been quitting because there's just nothing to do other than the 1v1 arena, which is apparently fucking good, but I don't want to play an MMO just to play 1v1 arena. Like, I'll play a fighting game if I want to play 1v1 arena.
Name me a fucking any game NCSoft has made that has been consistent and is popular amongst the majority of people in the United States when it comes to its genre. And you fucking can't. Nobody can. Because everybody's answer is Ion. And it's like, okay, that just didn't go over that well in the States.
The only game I can think of that has actually been kind of a real success in the MMO genre since WoW has been that Final Fantasy game, Final Fantasy Realm Reborn. That actually
14.
has like, go say again.
Final Fantasy 14 or Realm, yeah. Yep. People pop into my chat all the time, like, oh, I don't play Guild Wars 2 anymore. I like watching your stream, but I play Final Fantasy 14. What do you think of it? And I'm just like, I don't know. If you love Final Fantasy, you're going to love Final Fantasy 14, the MMO. Yeah, just like if you love Star Wars, you're going to love Star Wars, the Old Republic.
Yeah, but from what I've been, like, from my understanding, the game is very healthy. Like, typically what happens with MMOs is there's a big surge of players, and then the game, like, dies off rapidly. With Final Fantasy Realm Reborn, there was a big surge of players, and some of those people left, but then some people came back, and then more people figured out, like, the game has, like, slowly been on the rise. Like, they built a game, and sure, some people didn't like it when it came out, but, you know, the snowball is still rolling forward and getting bigger. It's not like it's just, like, big surge and then slow death. So they've actually got something that is apparently pretty good if you're into, like, PvE. The one thing I don't like about it is the global cooldowns are really long. It's kind of slow-paced. It's not for me, I don't think. I thought about maybe playing it, but I really just don't think it's going to be for me. But a lot of people like it, and it seems to be a quality game that has stuck to their morals with what they wanted to do, and people seem to be appreciating it and staying subscribed and staying into it and keep playing it. So
yeah,
that's better than basically every MMO that's come out since.
Yeah,
I can't think of another MMO that's done that. Where they've actually come
stuck
out
to their guns and
where the game has come out, they've stuck to their guns, and the community has slowly built up over time.
With Blade and Soul.
What
game are you talking about?
No, I'm saying I can't think of another game other than Final Fantasy that has come out after WoW that has stuck to their guns and slowly built their community.
Yeah,
because like with Guild Wars 2, you know, big surge of people, then it really died off. Wildstar, big surge of people, then it really died off.
With Guild Wars 2, a lot of it was not sticking to your fucking guns. You had this manifesto. They said we're going to do this, that, and the other thing, and shit's going to be different. Yeah, well, that dumbass commercial is aside. I mean, when you see the manifesto, you get hyped because that was during its hype period.
That manifesto.
The manifesto talking about how like we're going to make a new kind of MMO, this and that. The world's alive, this and that. Got people excited.
I just didn't think it was realistic from the start.
Well, I got excited because they were passionate about it. That was the whole fucking point of the production. But then when it's like, oh, okay. Like, you're not going to have an end game? How do you expect your game... Whatever, NC Soft, and that's when I turned. That's when I turned the TV off when it came to NC Soft, because like people say, like Lineage 2 is their MMO that just is alive and well and kicking. I'm like, cool. In Korea, it's alive and well and kicking. I don't see anybody playing it here, unless. And when I say anybody, I mean like a decent sized number of fucking people, to where the game doesn't feel like it's dead half the time I'm running around in the world. You know what I mean? So, and it's like Wildstar right now. Wildstar feels like a game when you're running around, you're like, where the hell is everyone?
Dude, I went on a Wildstar stream yesterday, and I was just kind of seeing what was going on, because I've thought about dicking around on Wildstar, not like seriously. I wasn't gonna like raid and go for world first stuff anymore, even though there's nothing else to go for. But dude, the game is so depressing. Like I just clicked on the game just to see if the PvP had gotten any better, because the PvP was always pretty lackluster for just like system. Like the actual gameplay was fun PvP wise, but the systems in place just sucked. So I went to check out Wildstar just to see how the PvP was, and the PvP is somehow worse than it was at launch. Like literally, I'm literally, as in like literally, I'm not a figurative speech. Literally, everyone in a BG is a bot. Like you'll queue up for a battleground, and it will be 9 bots on the other team against you and your 9 bots, or your 8 bots, or whatever.
That's telling you something right there. Like, people don't even want to play the game.
Yeah, because so they'd rather fire a bot up. And they went free to play, and they've got this huge botting issue in Battlegrounds now. It's like hilarious. Like it really is like everyone is a fucking bot. And I mean, this happened in WoW too. I've got a video of it. It's got one of my viral videos.
Yep.
Where everyone was a bot. But in Wildstar, it's at like a whole new level.
And it sucks. It really does. And I think we talked about this in a podcast where I am coming to the conclusion that I am a dinosaur, and no one is making games that I like anymore, especially with the MMOs. I shouldn't say especially with MMOs. Only MMOs. All the other games that I've been playing, like Metal Gear Solid 5, fucking Smash Brothers, other games that I end up playing, I'm enjoying myself. But like an MMO, they're not giving me that feels good man time from when I was playing World of Warcraft.
Yep.
Now it's like, here's the next. It's like MMOs are like on a conveyor belt and they're being mass produced. It's like, well, let's try this one. This one's got space rabbits.
There's nothing on the MMO horizon.
There's nothing
except for Crowfall, in my opinion.
Crowfall's gonna do fine if they stick to their guns.
They are, from what I can tell. But the thing with Crowfall is that's not going to be a big game. At least it's going to take a while for that. Like if that game does become a popular game, it will be over the course of years, not like it launches and it's this huge success. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like that's a game that's going to have to slowly, grow their community.
Yeah. They're not sitting there going, "Hey, guess what? We're going to do all of this shit." And then by the time the game launches, they can't actually deliver on any of it because they just said all that to get you to fucking buy the game. I forget what that other there's a. I'm blanking on it right now, but it's just EverQuest Next. When you said it could be vaporware, I started really looking into it, and I'm like, yeah, whatever. 2020 EverQuest Next, fine, whatever. Just come out and say you're fucking taking a long time to make your game. Just come out and say it instead of going like, well, this is alpha version 6. Like, fuck you, make a game. That's your isn't that your job? Make the fucking thing.
They haven't shown anything about the actual game. So they've released this like Minecraft thing, and it has nothing to do with the actual game. Like they said that you're building assets that can be used in the game. I heard that is like not a thing anymore. Like apparently they switched something about their engine, and the whole thing is just worthless.
I was in that. A friend of mine let me use their account to run around in that whole Minecraft version of it, because it is a voxel world. You can just build whatever you want. But it was so buggy that I couldn't actually build anything. But then again, they release a video showing like, look how easy it is to build in Landmark is what it's called. And so they're like, whoop, now I have a wall, now I have a door. And it's like, boom, bam, it's so easy. But like the way that you went around about doing it in the beta or in the alpha or whatever is you have to like play to earn the ability to place certain like ores. You have to mine them yourself like Minecraft. And I'm like, well, if this is just a tool around in this and like build a castle engine, why don't you just give me the fucking dev kit and let me build a castle?
Yeah, it's really it. I don't know. It seems stupid. Crowfall actually does have a voxel system. They're using that same technology in Crowfall, but they're not using it to build stuff. They're using it to destroy shit. So if you build a castle in Crowfall, for example, like the castle that you built, you don't actually build it like yourself like you would in Minecraft. It just kind of like pops up when you have enough resources or whatever, and it might take a certain amount of time. Yeah. But to destroy it, like if somebody is sieging you with like the big siege vehicles, then like, you know, if somebody shoots a fucking like cannonball at you or whatever the fuck they use for the sieging, then it'll like sort of blow like part of the wall down.
Yeah, put a hole in the wall. Yeah. I saw that shit. Yep. And
that old video isn't representative of the game really anymore. That like initial Kickstarter video, but that's like their concept anyway.
Yeah, just stick to the concept of the game, and it'll be fine. Black Desert.
Ugh.
What do we know about Black Desert? It's really pretty.
It's really pretty, and there's not anything else.
And that's it. Stop fucking talking to me about Black Desert. There's nothing to talk about, everybody else. There's nothing to talk about.
Yeah, I looked at Black Desert, and I watched a few videos, and people that were playing the game were essentially like, okay, so there's like some quests, and that's it. Like, there's like not a dungeon. There's not really any sort of PvP. Like there's maybe like some open world PvP, sort of, but like not really. There's just nothing there. It's like a questing, and it looks good.
Yeah, and my penultimate point with all this is like, I want endgame to where there's treasure hunting, triple P, and other shit in it.
Triple P, PvP, PvE,
personal player prestige. Oh. If you don't have that shit in your game is dead. You need that. Every MMO needs it. But if you're deciding to make a game where it doesn't have it, don't fucking make it look like it does.
Yeah.
Don't put out videos going like, oh, you can kill monster, then loot. Looting essentially is now just like a task that rewards you with nothing nowadays. It's like, now, before it was like, we killed Lucifron. What'd he drop? Oh, shit! And then someone would get excited and loot that shit. That's what looting was back like a decade ago. Now it's like, killed that champion. That was really hard, man. All right, here we go. Boom, a bag.
A random RNG bag.
Inside that bag is another bag, plus some really useless shit that I can vendor. What's inside the bag? And like Guild Wars 2 is guilty of this. They have the tiered system. It's blue, green, yellow, orange for exotic, right? So you get an exotic bag, but inside the exotic bag is blues and greens and stupid shit. And it's like, I'm not excited to do that anymore. That's what you need. MMO people, you need to make a game where I get excited to fucking loot the thing I spent time killing. A lot of games are
trying to get away from like the personal player prestige because it makes other people feel shitty, which is so fucking annoying.
Fuck those people then. If you're making a game and you want to fucking make everybody feel good, you're not making a game. You're making a simulation. This isn't a fucking game at this point where it's like, well, everyone should feel equal and the gear stats, if someone's in a killing really hard boss, they shouldn't be rewarded with something that makes them stronger. You don't think so? This is how this fucking genre, and on top of that, the whole, like, not only MMORPGs, but this is how RPGs have been forever. You're basically turning the RPG car around and going back the other way so that you don't hurt people's feelings. Shut the fuck up.
So that's what I like about Crowfall. Like, Crowfall is not a traditional MMO in the sense of like a world with quests and raiding and bosses that drop stuff. Like, it's just not that at all. But there is still the personal, like, there's still going to be the personal player prestige to a very high degree in that game. Like, there's going to be people in that game that are like damn near legendary because they command some sort of like guild of people, or they're like the sick crafter that everyone likes, or, you know, whatever. It's going to be a game where there's a lot of personal player prestige. But it's not in the traditional sense where like it's a piece of gear that drops and, oh my god, he's got warglaives. It'll be in the sense of like reputation from a community point of view. Like, it's not the game, it's not an item in the game giving you the prestige, it's the community giving you the prestige, which I think will be very refreshing because there hasn't been a game like that in a very long time.
Every game has that. Every game potentially has community prestige.
Yeah, but they're really encouraging it with the way Crowfall is being developed.
I mean, I've seen that you loot people when these battles begin. And granted, it's like alpha stuff. But I've seen Ken play it. on his live stream. And it's like he killed something that was a player, and he looted a shield for his class that he was playing, and it was like blue. It's like,
well, that has nothing to do with that has nothing to do with the actual game and what it's going to be, though. Like, you're not going to have like, I mean, maybe there'll be like some sort of rare item that maybe only a few people have because it's like a temporary. The thing with the gear in Crowfall is that it's temporary. Like, you get a kick-ass sword, it fucking breaks, it needs to get repaired, or it just, it's disposable. The player prestige in Crowfall is going to come from the community and the community only. And since it's a game where you can go and just jack people's shit, I think the prestige is going to come from the people, not from
I understand what you're saying.
The game. Yeah.
I understand what you're saying when it comes to the prestige of it. Where I get confused and stop caring is when you loot items in the game, but they're not, like, you can't keep them. Like, you get reset to 0 when the next game starts.
Oh, what you're seeing right there with the testing, the testing that you're seeing right now is like strictly combat testing. It has nothing to do with what the game is going to be.
Yeah, but did you not just say a little while ago that when you get sick loot off of something that's temporary, that's not really
It's temporary in the sense of, like, imagine your armor in WoW. You repair it.
Yeah.
You have to do the same in Crowfall, but essentially the items, to keep the crafting alive, to make sure crafting in the economy is like this constantly booming thing, the items can't last forever. So your blacksmith buddy makes you a sword, and maybe you've been using a lot over the past 2 weeks. Now that sword is essentially broken and dead. You need to go and get another sword.
So they can't be perpetually repaired.
Yeah, there's no item that lasts forever. Everything is disposable, and that keeps the crafting economy going. Because with WoW, for example, a new patch will come out and there'll be some new craftable stuff, but then the value of it just goes to shit, and no one needs it anymore because it lasts forever.
I guess the way to look at it is that in Crowfall, that adds another layer of game. Yeah. Whereas some people will think of that, or some people will hear that and think, oh, now I have to be a crafter because it's an absolute must to be a part of the game. Whereas, I mean, you could look at that, be like the negative way to look at it. The positive way to look at it would be it's another layer of
you have to interact with people in the community to get the shit you want.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, an MMO that has like server communities and shit? What is this?
Well, I mean, will it have an auction house?
No.
Stick to your guns.
No, they won't. They can't have an auction house with the way they're setting the game up. It's just it just wouldn't work.
I'm just saying, stick to your fucking guns. Because if people like you will tell people like me, oh, it's going to be like this, and my brain tries to digest that and go, no, that's not going to fucking work. That's never going to work. People aren't going to want to play the game like that because having an auction house is a convenience. But if they're attracted to it because there is no auction house, because it kind of immerses them in the game world a bit more, and they have to actually talk to a person and find that person and make a barter with them to repair their whatever, then that's more of a roleplay experience, and that's the kind of niche that's going to fill for those people, and I'm glad. But many people are going to look at that and go, that's stupid. Why would I play a game without an auction house?
Well, that's what I was saying earlier about like Crowfall not being... It's not going to come out and be some huge success where they sell like 5 million fucking copies the day the game comes out. It's going to be a game that has like a core audience. It's, in my opinion, this is how it's. Crowfall will be like Counter-Strike, where if the game is really good, then it will grow like Counter-Strike did. Where Counter-Strike was this thing that only a few, a very small percentage of people played, but Counter-Strike stuck to their guns. They kept the game the same way, and then the game grew. Like, Counter-Strike is huge now, even casually, despite it being a very hardcore game. They never changed it.
Yep. And, people are attracted to the idea of random pachinko shit where you open up a box and maybe you get a knife. That really doesn't give me a rock-hard dick, but I'm glad that it has a community of people there where they're like, what is it they have in CSGO? They have like a system where you'll put up like X number of knives and like
they've got a gambling
flip a coin thing. That's cool because apparently the knife.
It's just another aspect to the game. Like, it's not an act. It has nothing to do with the actual game, so I have no issues with it.
But that's what I mean. Yeah. That's a layer of game that's there, and people enjoy it.
Like it. I think it's cool. It's just more skins and customization, and Call of Duty is doing it now. And I think almost every game should do it. Like, why not have a bunch of different skins, and why not? Well, why not? You know.
And I don't know why or how they're valued at what they're valued in U.S. dollars. I don't know how that's appropriated, but yeah, I mean, there's a chance you open up a box and you just made $300. Neat.
Yeah, it's
very neat thing. God knows I will sell every fucking thing I ever get in CS:GO if I ever get into it. Because people were like, "You should really play it. It's really fun and tactical and shit." And I'm like, I understand that, and I'll probably give it a shot sometime in 2016. But I will always sell whatever I get in them boxes because there is no fucking fancy color, dagger, nothing that'll make me feel like I gotta keep this shit. I saw some guy put up like $2,000 worth of CS:GO shit, and then they played the little flip the coin game, and the one guy, he won like $2,000 in knives and shit, and I'm like, this is insane.
Yeah, there's people that go crazy with that. I actually want to talk about that in a previous podcast about, you know, gambling, how like people are legitimately like, there's like this whole new like gambling addiction now. Instead of going to the casino and seeing people blow all their money, now people are doing it through mobile games and like CS:GO gambling and stuff. But no one's talking about it. Like, people are gonna have the same like sort of gambling addictions that the traditional gambling addictions that people think of, but just digitally now.
Yeah, I mean, there's one aspect of the whole gaming gambling that traditional gambling doesn't really have. And it said, well, no. What am I saying? Well, when I was thinking about it in the sense of like people who are addicted to gambling who go to slot machines, because there is no game when playing a slot machine. You just press a button, random shit happens. Same thing with like pachinko. You put money in and balls fall wherever the fuck they fall. Yep. But the gaming gambling like in CS:GO is similar to like blackjack. You don't. My friend John is a blackjack dealer at the casino, and it's good to know like how to play it and the strategies. Like, you're supposed to do this when you get an 8, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But you're just playing to the game's strength. If the game hands you an opportunity to win, you just play to the objective of the game. There is no sitting down at a blackjack table and going, all right, I'm really good at blackjack, I'm gonna fucking get at blackjack.
Unless you're playing in a team, which is frowned upon.
Yes, unless you're cheating the casino. Yes, but you know what I'm saying. Card games and gambling.
Yeah,
no matter what the number of skill you have, or the amount of skill you have, you're not in control of it. Whereas CS:GO, you're in control of it based on who you're going up against, and there's stakes in you playing, which is kind of interesting. It's kind of like gambling evolved. I told my friend I predict this within 5 years, especially now that Activision owns Candy Crush and King and all this other shit. Within 5 years, casinos will no longer have those stupid fucking... Well, they'll probably still have them, but they won't have those dumb slot machines that are themed anymore. Uh-huh. They'll actually have big screens for you to play Candy Crush on. And that's... If you do good or whatever, you get money. But if you don't do good...
I've never been attracted to casinos.
Candy Crush is just as rigged as a fucking casino game. It really is. No matter how well you do, you're not guaranteed to get past that level.
You know what I was saying earlier? Instead of people going to the casino and spending all their money, it's going to be some guy buying a bunch of Guild Wars 2 bags that are RNG, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be that. And, you know, and it's happening. You know, there is a...
Black Lion keys and shit, yeah.
Yeah, and what's funny is that right now there's a loophole with Counter-Strike and with a lot of these games because they're not considered gambling yet. They're just like the litigation hasn't caught up with them yet, that people under 18 can be doing this shit.
Sure.
So it's gonna be weird to see how that evolves, but it's definitely an issue, you know.
I really love how old money is slow and boring and gay when it comes to this kind of shit. Because like, I try to talk to people in their businesses and set their social media up for them because I'm good at that. And hell, if I can do that for them, and I say, hey, pay me a couple $100 to do this, and they accept, then I get to eat. You know what I mean? But it's so funny how old money is always like, no, we don't need Twitter. We don't need Instagram. Well, someone's just going to leave a negative comment and then our business is going to go under. Rah, rah, rah. And it's like, your business is going to go, you're going to go under anyway, you fuck, you know? Fuck you and your
change is tough. You know, right now I work, you know, there's a bit of a changing of the guard with where I'm working right now.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not like anything, there's not any drama going on, but there's a lot of people coming to retirement age, you know. Where I work is the average employee that worked at Harvey's has been working there for like 27 years or some shit, like all the way from the lowest guy to that, from the guy that washes the cars to the guy that owns it. If you average out all those people that have been working there, it's like 27 years. Like legit, all the people that are working there now have known me since I was a kid. So they're all, which is great because employee loyalty is great, and obviously we've got a very loyal customer base and all that shit. It's great. But the problem is that there's a lot of old people. A lot of old people and people stuck in their old ways and not evolving. So there's been a bit of an effort to bring in some new people, which is why I'm there, and why there's been some other new hires and been some changes and a little bit of resistance to those changes. So I'm very familiar with that. And they're not bad people. It's just that it's just they're just different, like I was talking to one guy yesterday and I was like, I asked him if he got his phone hooked up to the Wi-Fi because I saw he had his phone out. He's like, I don't need that shit. Like, what? Like, it's like, nah, I don't need internet on my phone. And like, there wasn't any like sort of just like, no, that's not a thing.
Did he have a smartphone?
I couldn't tell. He had his phone out and it looked like it was a smartphone because it was flat, but I just asked him if he needed.
It was a BlackBerry.
I essentially changed the Wi-Fi like password because it was fucked. There was something fucked up with it.
He's got his Windows BlackBerry looking PDA out. Yeah, fuck that Wi-Fi shit.
Yeah.
Pulls out a stylus. He's like, I'm fine.
But yeah, it's just and it's gonna be funny when we're those old people. I wonder if we will be, or if the internet's gonna save us from that.
I think I have a good feeling personally. I can't really speak for the generation.
Dude, we already are with MMOs. We're the fucking old people. There's a lot of people that really look at like these shitty ass MMOs and go, "This is the greatest shit ever." We're sitting here like, "Fuck these young faggots. They don't know shit."
But I feel like, how trends kind of wrap around. They come back. I think with MMOs, you will see a serious wraparound at some point.
I think we can say safely that MMOs are definitively just shitty right now.
Yes.
I think that's just
and MMOs are shitty right now. It sucks.
Yeah, MMOs just suck. I'm not like I don't like I'm not into the traditional MOBAs with clicking around. We talked about that earlier. I don't talk shit about MOBAs. I'm not sitting here talking shit about League. I like to watch it competitively. It's just not for me. But I get it. I don't get these new MMOs. They just suck. They suck shit.
Yeah, they're not living up to their predecessors, but they're making money. So just understand, it's not sour grapes that they're making money. I don't give a shit how much money NCSoft. That's what they're really good at, is making a profit. Yeah. They make billions of dollars in profit every year, but their games are shitty. I'm sorry. If you play these games and you're like, whoa, you're an idiot.
I didn't think Wildstar was shitty until a few months down the road. I think
Wildstar was shitty to me. Go ahead.
I think Wildstar was a solid effort. It's just that Wildstar is so tragic. They made the game everyone said they wanted. Everyone said they wanted a hardcore MMO with hard dungeons and hard raids. And they made that game, and then people played it, and they couldn't do the dungeons, and they got pissed off and quit. Like, that's why so many people quit the game, is because they couldn't even step into the raid. Because they couldn't even complete the dungeons.
But they can't, they can't just dial it back?
No, they just didn't.
They didn't have the capability to dial it back soon enough?
Yeah, well, they did dial it back. They have nerfed the dungeons and the raids, but not directly. There's just been power creep, like the crafted items got better, and you can be a shittier player and clear the stuff now because just power creep, like people have more health, more damage, the items got better, stuff like that. But people just got their egos crushed in Wildstar. They went from WoW, and they thought they were badasses in WoW, to just literally not being able to complete the dungeon, much less complete it in the time limit needed to get attuned to the raid. Mm-hmm. So you had all these badasses that were like, oh my god, we got the US, 15th kill of this boss, and then they just can't even complete the dungeon.
MMOs, most of the time, always have that issue, is everyone flocks to the new game, they play it, and then they don't play it anymore. I guarantee you, Wreckful will not be playing Blade and Soul in 2 months. He will be playing whatever butters his bread. Whatever. Is it still World of Warcraft? If it is, he's going to play World of fucking Warcraft. There's people who, Crip. Crip plays Path of Exile a lot, I hear.
Yeah.
I don't watch him. I haven't seen what he's been doing recently, but He will not be playing Blade and Soul in 2 months.
No,
I guarantee you. Blade and Soul will be at the bottom of the fucking list.
Blade and Soul is a fucking shit game from all accounts that I've heard. I could be wrong, and I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's just a shit game. No one's gonna be playing in 2 months.
For me, the slowly but surely creeping advancement of Wildstar being a cheaply made MMO made me feel bad, because when I was playing in the beta, I played as a human, and the animation for the greatsword and stuff, I was like, okay, well, this is just how humans swing. I can choose to be the Rockman, and they probably swing the swords differently. It's bad enough that I'm limited to one weapon, but I'll take it if this is the human animation. No, turns out it's everybody's fucking animation. No matter what race you are, you swing the fucking weapon the same. I'm like, what the shit? And everybody's animation is the same across all races and sexes. World of Warcraft, each race has a unique animation, and their sex has a unique animation. Get with it. Just get with it, MMOs. That's what quality is. If you're not to the fucking gold standard of World of Warcraft, guess what? I don't shit for less than World of Warcraft nowadays. And now World of Warcraft has to lean towards the more casual player, because that's the trend of the times. And I'm fine with it. But I don't like the bitching. People bitching to me about, World of Warcraft's being so casual. You just get this, whatever it's called, mystic weapon or something, and then you just build that. It's so stupid. And I'm like, well, then you shouldn't fucking love crappy MMOs then, because that's why the trend is pulling World of Warcraft.
Yeah, it's sad, man. It's real sad.
We all got to live with it. Don't worry about it. You can cry on my shoulder. I understand. We all got to live with it.
I've played a little bit of Legion with the Demon Hunter. I have access to the alpha. And it's okay, but it's just the same WoW. It's just like, I'm in a tough spot with WoW, where if the game if they made World of Warcraft amazing again, and it was like exactly what I wanted, I don't think I get into it again. I think the Stockholm Syndrome has just worn off, and it's just lost its magic for me. I don't know if the same can be said for you. Where
if World of Warcraft went back to
World of Warcraft went to be exactly the way you wanted it, would you go back and play it and be as in love with it as you were?
I would be, because my version of World of Warcraft is my perfect version of World of Warcraft is not what it was in 2005.
It's what it was in 2008 to 9, right?
Nope. No, if World of Warcraft wants to make the most money and be influenced by the most people and have the most subscriptions, you have a game that appeals to everyone. There's a lot of people who just play World of Warcraft to farm their fucking farm, their shit, farm, to pick their shit and make profit on their crafting and stuff. And then they do no dungeons, and that's fine. I want people
you can't make a game that appeals to everyone, though.
No, but World of Warcraft is appealing to everyone because it has that casual appeal and then that hardcore appeal. I feel it's lost a lot of its hardcore appeal, though. That's really the problem.
See, the thing is, when you try to appeal to everyone, you just muddy the waters.
How
it would be like trying to design a car that's a sports car and a minivan at the same time.
No.
You just can't.
The sports car minivan thing is that makes total sense in the world of car. But like mythic rating, LFR, dungeons, the different tiers of difficulty going up to organized people destroying these hardest content that's very difficult to do in the game. That is the perfect MMO that's the perfect World of Warcraft. The problem is the shift in the trend to make it more casual is basically Blizzard listening to all these chicken shit babies who decide that they're going to play World of Warcraft and then eventually hit content that they are not good enough to complete. Because believe it or not, people, you probably aren't that good. There's other people out there who can do mythic rating. It's doable. And yet you fuckers are sitting there going, I can't partake in the content that is the next tier of difficulty. Well, maybe you can't handle anything above medium difficulty. That's not fucking Blizzard's fault. You simply can't fucking do it. And you and I have both seen people who try to do PvP who jump into arena thinking, this is just the same as the Battlegrounds.
Yeah.
And then we expect them to perform at a certain level, and they fucking can't. If you can't, you fucking can't. That's not the game's fault. So
my favorite thing in WoW is all the people that talk shit about arenas, saying how fuck arenas, it's not real PvP, it's stupid, player versus pillar, saying all that stupid bullshit. Guess what? They all sucked. 100% of all the people that said that sucked at arenas.
Dude, and I'm one of those people who never, ever got that good in Arena. The best I got was like 1,800, 19. No, I got 2,200 in one season in Cataclysm, but I don't count that shit because that's when Arena was like fucking any retard could do well with a Paladin and a Mortal Strike Warrior and a Death Knight. So that was my team. But like my average was like 1,700, 1,800. But I still champion the idea of you should have content for these people who are really fucking good. Like 26, 2,700. Like that's like taking Gladiator.
Arena content is hands down the best bang for their buck that Blizzard ever made. They made fucking whatever it was, 5 arenas, and people play them hundreds of thousands, millions of times, the same arenas over and over and over again. Like that is hands down the best bang for your buck in terms of designing content that game's ever done.
And if you're hip to the game and you kind of know what's going on, that's entertainment. I mean, why do you think guys like Regful and Bajira and you name them can just sit around for hours on end per day and go, oh, I'm going to do 3v3s today. Oh, today I'm doing this.
I mean, there are
because
some
it's
people
fucking entertainment.
There are a few streamers that are popular that don't do arenas, but it's not even close to the amount.
Well, it's the same thing. Like you can watch Towley raid some shit, and maybe it's like Mythic and whatever it is, and you can be entertained and enjoy that. The people who fucking can't are the people that Blizzard is catering to now. They're like, oh man, sorry. Well, I guess we'll just nerf the game a bit so that now you haven't nerfed it enough. It's like, fine. Here's one weapon for the entire expansion. Fine, anyway, I guess I'll play.
To circle around and jerk off Crowfall again, essentially they've said multiple times that Crowfall is not going to be a game that appeals to everyone and that you might not like it. They've actually said that themselves, that they are not trying to appeal to everyone, and they know that they are quite clearly making a game that will not be for everyone.
And guess what? Guess what will not happen if they stick to their guns on that? When this game launches, you will not see a fucking website give this fucking game a 9 out of 10 or a fucking 4 out of 5. They're gonna go, honestly, this is like a 3 out of 5 game, but that's because not everyone. It's not for everyone.
Yeah.
And that's where these critics and reviewers come from. They come from a stance where like, would everyone love this? No, 3 out of 5, good.
Yeah. Well, and what I've thought was very honorable is like they've had people come on the forums and ask like, hey, I'm not really a hardcore player. Is there any sort of like casual mode, like where I don't lose my gear or anything like that, or like where I get to keep my stuff forever? And they're like, no. This isn't really the game for that. Sorry. There's like people will come and ask these these questions saying like, hey, I would love it if you guys put in some dungeons. I think that would be like really awesome. And like, nah, this might not be the game for you, dog.
Yeah, I mean it would be awesome, but they're going to say that
but it wouldn't be awesome.
That's not part of the blueprint.
It wouldn't be awesome. Though.
Well, again, it's not part of the blueprint.
Yeah, they quite clearly know that if they try to make a game for everyone, then you just make a shitty game for everyone. If you try to make a game that appeals to everyone, then you just end up making a game that is shitty for everyone.
You're losing value of your game when you don't stick to your guns. Again, I'll say it again. If they put dungeons in Crowfall, that would be awesome because that person thinks it would be awesome, and everyone who thinks the same as that person would think that's awesome. But in reality, it's we're doing this. This is what the game is, and that's it. No, we're not. That's like the same exact people would say like there should be like a PvE mode in League of Legends. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
When if they did that, would probably kill the game.
Yeah.
Like literally.
Yeah.
Dominion gets like shitty like opinions about it, and that's my favorite map in the whole game. And it's obviously not as challenging or as tactical, but it's more of a casual map. But if it's not straight PvE either. So yeah, people need to learn this shit, especially game developers. I hope Crowfall is an example of sticking to your guns, and
I think they will be
satisfying the people that you said, hey, give us money, we're making this game.
Yeah, they've always said that they wanted a smaller niche game, and from what I can tell, they're not trying to make this game that appeals to everyone. They just came out with like their most recent like news update was very like polarizing. Well, not really. Most people liked it, but there were some people that didn't. You can tell they're not trying to appeal to everyone, which is good.
Speaking of other games, what have you seen when it comes to Star Citizen?
Oh, dude, have we talked about Star Citizen on the podcast before?
We have not talked about Star Citizen.
Oh, we haven't? Dude, I want to be wrong. I so want to be wrong. I want the game to come out to be amazing and for it to blow my mind and me to play it for the next 10 years. But I just think it's going to be a hollow game at its core. It's going to be a big, flashy game that looks amazing and seems like it has all this stuff to do in it. But in reality, we're all going to play it for a month and then do everything. And it's going to be a real shallow game.
From what I've seen from YouTubers who have access to it, and they make videos that aren't like quick, let me make this video in like 5 minutes video. Like, I mean, real good shit videos that explain to you the world of Star Citizen. It looks like it is rather fleshed out at this point. The game's not fully released yet, but it is what, again, it's sticking to your guns. They said you were going to play a character that, you know, you start off inside of a spacecraft, like a docking ship. You have to tell the computer, oh, I want my ship, and then they drop your ship in, you go out to your ship, and there's no loading screens, basically. So it's just like you start flying, and you're out in space.
Yeah.
And I don't think at this point they don't have the ability for you to fly down to a planet yet, but I guess that's what they want you to be able to do. But you can use light speed to go to certain locations within the solar system and do quests or handle missions that you receive and shit like that. The space engine that they're using for you to simulate being out in space is very cool. You actually can get out of your ship, not docked or parked anywhere, and you can float to these space stations, go inside, handle whatever's going on.
There's like an alien. A lot of stuff that's really cool about the game.
Yeah, and I like what I see so far. So far, they haven't like jumped the shark and been like, and this, and it's like, oh my god, that's it. What a joke.
Yeah. No, it looks good, but I just think it's going to be feature creep to the max. Like, this game was supposed to come out, 2 years ago or some shit?
I don't know.
It's... I don't know. I feel like it's just too over the top and just too much. And
I'm put off by the fact that people have to buy their spaceships with real money.
So I think that's just a thing for the Kickstarter only.
I think so, too.
Yeah. But I think it's too grandiose. I think it's trying to be too much. It's trying to do too much and do too many things.
Nah, man.
Whereas with Crowfall, it's the complete opposite. It's very much a fucking game that is very simple and easy to understand and not really that big in scale compared to other MMOs.
Yeah.
And that's why I have faith that game's going to be good, because I'm like, oh, this is very realistic. Like, these are good ideas, but they're achievable ideas, whereas Star Citizen is like, we want a fucking universe with ships and FPS gameplay and a campaign and a fucking this and a that and a that. And it's like, oh my god, what the fuck?
There was some game at E3 that was it was a demo of some game where you're in a ship.
No Man's Sky is what you're probably thinking of.
Yeah.
You fly, it's all procedurally generated, and there's like a million different planets.
Yeah, and that's, I think, what Star Citizen wants to be, except for No Man's Sky is like...
It's not anywhere close to the level.
Produced by whatever company's producing it. They've got a lot of money backing it up, and it's like, that was E3 2014.
No Man's Sky is just procedurally generated, like, Minecraft worlds.
But you can get in a ship and fly to another planet.
Oh, it is cool. It is cool, but
awesome.
It's nowhere near the level of Star Citizen, like, in terms of detail and, like, crafted worlds, and I don't know. It's hard to explain. If you actually go and look at the planets on No Man's Sky, they're not anywhere near as impressive or daunting as what's going on with Star Citizen.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you can really compare them. That's what
No. I'm not trying to do. What I'm saying is I'm a bit excited for a game where I can get in a spaceship, go somewhere, have an adventure, and if I survive my adventure, I get back in my spaceship and go back home and be like, dude, holy shit. Have you been over to that planet? That shit's fucked, man. I barely, got out of there. I like that.
That would be cool, but it's... I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I want that to be the case. I want it to be the greatest thing of all time, as a lot of people are touting it to be, but I just don't think it will be.
Hive Mind Podcast 77.
Remember Star Citizen. It's the greatest game ever!
The whole podcast would be like, I was wrong, and I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You could do like a Keemstar impression or something.
Yeah, no, really. I hope I am, dude. I want to be wrong. I hope I'm wrong about Blade and Soul. I hope it's the greatest fucking game ever, and I can't stop playing it, but I just don't think it's going to happen.
Mm-hmm. I hope it's... I don't want any game to be the greatest game ever. I just want it to be something that I enjoy going back to and playing.
Why don't you want it to be the greatest game ever?
Because I think that concept is a little fucked. Like the greatest game ever. Like what is
Oh, I'm not saying it's actually going to be the greatest game ever, or there's even a chance. I'm just saying it'd be nice if it was.
Yeah, it would be nice. And again, all I'm reiterating is that when you stick to your guns, you make a great game.
Yep.
And that's totally fine. And I do like that. I didn't know that about Crowfall being like, oh yeah, you want the thing? Well, move on, kid. This is not. We're working on something over here, and it's not something you want to play.
Yeah, no,
which gets people like that kind of marketing gets people to be like, "What do you mean I don't want to play it? Fuck you! What is it?"
Yeah, they're very clear about. They've said it a bunch of times, saying that this might not be the game for you, and I mean, and they're not trying to be like. They're not doing it in like a way like Wildstar was, where it's like hardcore, it's hardcore game, hardcore. It's more like this is the vision of the game. This is what it's going to be. This is why we aren't going to have things like an auction house. This is why the gear has to break. These are things that aren't changing. So, I don't know. I like it. I'm digging it. I think it's going to be a good game just because it's realistic in scale.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, you got a topic, or you want me to find one on my list here?
I actually don't have a topic. This week I was catching up on all of the important shit I should have known about. The guy who plays Snape fucking died yesterday.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I don't know his real name. I don't have it in front of me, but
yeah, I know you're talking.
He had some kind of cancer, and he kept it a secret from everybody. And he was 70 years old, and so was David Bowie. They're both the same age.
I thought they were both 69.
69, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, that's. I don't have anything to say about that. I'm not familiar.
It just
with
like shocked me because somebody had said like, "Oh, he died." I'm like, "No, he didn't. You're fucking with me." And it was like, "Oh my god, he's dead." It's like it's like when Pat Morita died. I'm like, "Nah, Mr. Miyagi's not dead. Fuck you." And then like the next day, it's like,
I didn't know who that was until you said that, Mr. Miyagi.
Oh, you didn't know? Yeah, of course. Well, he adamantly always talked about like, "Yeah, I'm not Mr. Miyagi," because he's not Chinese. He's not Japanese. He has like a normal he's got like a Brooklyn accent.
Oh wow, really?
He's like, I'm not.
I can't even
Mr.
do a Brooklyn
Miyagi.
accent.
My name is Pat fucking Morita. Well, he was in a Robot Chicken sketch where they're like, funny. Mr. Miyagi. It's called Enter the Fat One with Joey Fatone from NSYNC. And he's like, it's not Fat One. It's Fatone. Damn it. He's like, whatever. Go kick that guy. Use a crane kick or whatever. But yeah, I was like, damn, man. So everyone's fucking dying now. It sucks. It's part of life.
Speaking of dying, that segues into my next topic brilliantly. So this is actually a new news. There are more people dying in Europe than are being born. So we've got a deflation of the population in Europe. Typically, there's like 8 billion people, and then 10 years from now it'll be like 12 billion or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, not the case in Europe. There are more people dying than being born because people realize that having kids is fucking dumb.
Oh, I thought this was going to lead into like the story
Muslim bashing or something.
No. I thought this was going to lead into like it's a cultural thing to have less kids nowadays because we know the overpopulation issue, but in reality, it's just like people are just reporting. Yeah, children are expensive.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Essentially. I mean, it's not a bad thing to be honest.
Thinking about the Muslim tickling buttholes thing again. But anyway, no.
I think this is going to be a trend for a lot of places that are a lot of first world countries. I think that a lot of people are having less kids because fuck having kids. I'm the same way. I don't want those little bastards. I thought about getting a vasectomy just because I'm pretty goddamn sure I don't want those little bastards.
I wouldn't. Just be smart. Because you might one day change. I mean, over the course, because you're only like in your early 20s.
Yeah, I know.
You might meet the right lady. You might be in a different.
I really don't think it's going to happen for me, man. Not that I won't meet the right lady. I just really don't think that I'm going to sit down and be like, yeah, I want kids. And if I did want kids, I'd probably adopt. Because I don't have that desire to have a little version of fucking me running around. Like, I just don't. I don't know.
Yeah, and plus, like, the early years are really kind of, like, stressful. Especially watching my friend Ken go through it with his first kid. Like, that first, like, his son is, like, from September of the year his son was born until like at least 9 to 10 months, he just looked like a haggard old man. He looked like he aged 5 years. It's like, how much sleep did you get? 2. How many days in a row has this been going on? 5 months in a row. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah, and the thing is it's not that I hate kids. I actually like kids a lot. Like well, all right.
I like them too. Like,
yeah, like kids like me as well. Like I'm like, oh my God. Like a lot of my older brothers, they have kids, and they're like, Uncle Logan, and we fucking play, and they love to hang out with me and do shit, and everyone's like, oh my God, you're gonna be a great dad one day. And it's like, no.
Yeah. Right.
What's great about this right now is because, when they're all fun and playful, it's nice, and then I leave. I do this for like 2.5 hours, and then I leave, and I can go jerk off and play video games.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't.
You don't have to feed them later. Make sure they're not falling downstairs.
And the thing is, like, people say, oh, it changes as you get older. Well, I don't. Like, obviously, when you're 16, you don't want kids. Like, no 16-year-old dude's like, yeah, I want to have some kids. Like, no. But every year I get older, every year I don't want kids more and more. Like, it's not like, oh yeah, when I turn 23 here and whatever, what is today's date? I turn 23 in 5 days. I'm not going to be like, oh yeah, I think I slightly want kids more now. Like, I really don't think I want kids at all. And if I did, you can just adopt them. Like, what the fuck? It's not like there's a shortage of kids that need a place.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing you saying, like, oh, at 16 you don't think about having kids. My friend Ken is the very rare exception to that rule, where, like, 16, 17 years old, he's like, I want to have a son, I want to be a father. And I'm like, that's really young to want to have that happen. But certain things happen in his life where he, like, learned, like, maybe I shouldn't have a kid yet until I've met the right person and all that stuff and whatnot. So, but you'll know if you want kids by the time you're fucking 25 years old. If you don't want them, you're never going to have them. Nothing's going to change your mind unless you meet that right woman. And then she gets that baby fever because they have that hormonal thing.
That's definitely a thing.
Drives them crazy to have kids. And unless that relationship works out well for you, you're going to have 25 kids, man. Like,
I don't think it's going to happen, man. I'm really thinking about it.
Babies or breakup? Yeah, breakup. Sorry.
Say again?
No, what I'm saying is it leads to that moment of babies or breakup.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And guys like us are like, you know what? I've thought about this a lot, and breakup. I mean, you're really nice and sweet and pretty, and the sex is great, but I'm not making a kid. Never, ever.
Yeah. I really don't think it's going to change, and if it did, I'd have no issues adopting a kid. Like, I don't know. I don't have that desire to have a little fucking version of me. It just seems crazy.
Mm. And people have this, like, negative stigma that adopting a kid, it's like, it's so cool at first, but then when you get to the point where you have to tell them that they're adopted, you feel all bad about it. Like, what? Like, why? Don't worry about that. Well, no, like, the parent feels like they might get rejected because the kid didn't know they were adopted, and it's like, well, 14, 15 years old, we got to tell you you're adopted.
You're black, and we're white.
Unless you adopt a black kid, yeah, or something else, yeah. And I mean, but which is probably the best way to go, by the way. Adopt an Asian kid or something. That way they're like, you're adopted. And the kid's just like, Dad, I know.
What?
Fine. You think I'm stupid?
Dad, I'm 17.
I'm also Asian and you're not. I've seen you play MOBAs, Logan. You're not that good, Dad. You're clearly not Korean. But yeah, I didn't know that about Europe.
Yeah. But it's interesting. A lot of the people that want, a lot of people that society wants to reproduce, like, you want the smart people to have kids, like, you want the smart, successful people to do well and have kids, because that breeds more smart, like, obviously survival of the fittest, right? But the thing is that the people that are successful aren't having kids, and it's the dumb motherfuckers that are, like, riding on welfare that are having all the kids. So now we've got this interesting situation where the human race is, like, de-evolving. We're devolving into fucking, like, we're getting dumber because the undesirables are breeding.
Yeah, that's
in the words of Trump, Emperor Trump, all hail.
Yeah, I mean, it is a problem. It will be a problem in the next, like, 100 to 200 years. But the way I look at it is I'm going to be dead by then, long before that. So, you know, figure your shit out, people who want to make babies, because, you know, Trump will take away that free ride. Trump probably doesn't give a shit if he sees a family in the street with a baby.
Did you see the thing with Trump where somebody was protesting one of his speeches? And he was like, throw her out in the cold.
Oh, yeah.
Take her jacket and throw her out in the cold.
Yeah, he's at the podium still. And he's like, get her out of here.
Get her out of here. Take her jacket, throw her out in the cold.
Yeah, that's happened a couple of times.
That's so funny. It's so funny that he can say that and people are like, yeah!
Yeah, dude. Bernie Sanders, you got
I love it. I love it so much.
Hard job ahead of you, man.
Oh, yeah, but you want to talk about that? How fucking Hillary is tanking.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck
I heard about this. She is fucking going nowhere.
I hate her so much.
Sanders is just the guy sitting there saying common sense shit. Like, you know, I'm not bought out by corporations and I want to legalize pot. What do y'all think of that? Everyone's like, woo, cool. And then Hillary Clinton's like, I'm going to fix all the regulation. Like, fuck you. We don't care. You're a liar.
Did you see the thing where Hillary Clinton was talking shit about Bernie Sanders' healthcare plan, and then
I did not see the news, but I saw like a video that I could have clicked on, but did not.
So Hillary Clinton was talking shit about Bernie Sanders' healthcare proposal, and then in response to Hillary Clinton talking shit, Bernie Sanders tweeted out an image of a signed Hillary Clinton picture or whatever, saying, "Hey Bernie, I think your healthcare plan is fantastic," and it was like from 10 years ago. It's like the biggest gotcha ever. Shit was hilarious.
Oh my god! And he used a tweet.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
He didn't say anything. He just tweeted out this image of Hillary Clinton's like handwritten letter saying, "Hey Bernie, I think your healthcare plan is fantastic and it's the right thing for America." Meanwhile, 10 years later, she's talking shit about it. It's funny. Very funny. But I'm so happy to see her fail. She is just so unlikable. I fucking hate Hillary Clinton. She's just a fucking real rat. Like, just a real fucking rat.
Yeah, she's obviously a rat.
She's just unlikable. Like, how the fuck... I honestly think Hillary Clinton's, like, whole popularity was almost just fake. Like, I feel like it actually wasn't real. Because how can you like her? She's just so fucking unlikable.
Mm-hmm.
Like, at least with... a lot of these other politicians, like, you know, the Ted Cruz, the Jeb Bush, the Donald Trump, at least I can see how maybe they could be, like, likable. Like, maybe they're not, like, maybe I don't want to be president, but they can be likable. Bernie Sanders seems like he'd be a likable guy, but just not Hillary Clinton. Just, no. Just fuck. Yeah. I enjoy seeing her fail. Can't wait for more of that.
I love the kicking and screaming part. That's the part I like the most, where it's just like, no, I'm not drowning, no! And then they just say another, like, one after another stupid thing. And it's like, yeah, okay, you're officially out of here. Like how Ted Cruz, oh, fuck, I even forgot now. Shit.
I think Ted Cruz is actually sort of in the running with Trump a little bit. Not really, but, like, he's, like, the closest one, and he's actually kind of close. It's, like, 25 to 35% in a lot of the polling.
Yeah, and like Huckabee is, you're out,
dead.
You're out, like you're dead in the water. No, what it was I saw the State of the Union, like, so Obama does the State of the Union, he says this stuff, and then on Fox News they have the, no, this was not that, this was New Year's Eve on Fox News, and they had all the Republican candidates saying like their little ditty about like, this is prior to the ball dropping, and they're like, Happy New Year, everybody, blah blah blah, hope you and your loved ones have a great year, stick to your resolutions. And da-da-da. And that's all you have to say. Everyone does a little ditty like that. And all of a sudden it's Ted fucking Cruz. And he just talks for like 5 minutes. It's just him talking. I saw it on The Daily Show. Where like he's like, let's put Ted Cruz down here in the corner of the screen. We're not going to like do any edit cuts. Just going to keep playing that. And they muted the audio. And then they started talking about another like news topic. And then they finish it up with, and by the way, this guy is still fucking talking.
Holy shit.
Like, Ted Cruz, you're losing it, man. You're losing anybody who thought you were cool.
What I think is interesting about politics right now is that both the Republicans and the Democrats don't want their most popular candidate to be the one representing them. It's kind of interesting. So it's like, it's kind coming to the light that Bernie Sanders might be more popular than Hillary Clinton. But the Democrats, like the Democratic National Convention, like they don't want that to be the case. Like the Democratic Party wants Hillary Clinton to be the one that's running for them.
Oh, yeah.
And the same thing is with the Republicans, where they don't want Donald Trump to be their representative. They want Bush or fucking Cruz or someone else. So it's like we're in this weird situation where like the leading Republican really they don't want him, and the leading Democrat they don't really want him either. So wouldn't it be fucking insane if there was a like if Hillary Clinton was the Democratic runner and Ted Cruz is the Republican runner, and then both Bernie and Trump were independent? Like how fucking off the rails bonkers would that be?
That would be one hell of a back and forth.
That would be fucking crazy. But the Republicans are fucked. If they don't have Trump as their guy, they're fucked because he'll go independent and just destroy like any chance of the Republicans winning. If Trump went independent, he would essentially assure victory for the Democrats or himself. I don't know.
Yeah,
there's no way the Republicans would win in that situation.
In the situation of Bernie versus Trump?
No, in the situation of if Donald Trump was to run independent, it would completely destroy the chance of any Republican.
Oh, yeah, no, they'd be done. It'd be like,
yeah, because it would be split
who's that
up
cool
too
guy
much.
running as independent? I'm going to vote for him. That's like the white man's equivalent of being Barack Obama without being black, is being like, I'm a legit independent candidate. Vote for me. I'm going to vote for that guy. You're fucking right. And he's a maniac? Yeah, dude. I talk about this in the
If it
stream.
ends up being Trump versus Sanders, this will be so fucking entertaining.
Oh, God, yes, it will, because you know it will be. It's not going to be Hillary and anyone else.
It'll just be a constant onslaught of Bernie Sanders calling Trump out on his bullshit, and then Trump being like, "Fuck you, you're old."
Yeah. Like there's that whole.
He's so good.
There's that whole the dissection of how Donald Trump, at the same time, compliments you and then buries you at the same time. Like he does it on purpose, and some people were pointing that out. Like, did you notice that's the strategy? And it's like, wow, he's taking a shit on everyone without them even noticing he's taking the giant shit on them. It's fucking great.
Dude, his campaign is run brilliantly. Like, it's so fucking good. And I really wonder how much support Donald Trump is getting just because he's entertaining. Like, it's got to be significant.
Significant. Not all of it, but...
Like, I'm sure there's some people that, like, really drank the Trump Kool-Aid and they think he's, like, the shit. But I'm sure there's a lot of people just sitting back like, yeah... I've never been entertained by a presidential candidate so much. He's got my vote. Like, I feel like there's probably like a lot of people thinking like that.
I would say it's not the majority of the people who support him who feel that way.
No,
but there's a good chunk of people, and that's totally fine because this is America, where if Donald Trump becomes president, we realize shit needs to change. Because if we're voting on our president based on how fucked up he is and how entertaining he is, and not on his platform, and his ad campaign is like just the most atrocious shit. Like they fact checked that video that we watched in the previous podcast, and that's the people running from the border. That's not Mexico. Clearly, it's not. We know it's everyone.
What is
everyone
it from
who saw
some
that
movie?
No. It was people going from some country trying to get into Spain.
Wow.
I forget the other country. I don't want to say Morocco, but it was like it was this very dramatic looking scene of people crossing a border. Clearly not the Mexico-American border, and we all knew it because of Trump. We know it.
It was like
none of us are mad about it.
North Korea put out a propaganda video about how they were going to destroy the United States and had some shit from like Modern Warfare 2 in it. Like it had a cutscene from Modern Warfare 2 in it. Not even making this up.
I remember seeing something. North Korea had they announced their K-pop band, they're all dressed in like military uniforms.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
And there's a video behind them playing as they're singing this like really shitty like all hail Kim Jong-un, it's pop music, blah blah blah. But the video in the back towards the end of their song shows a missile, like a nuclear missile fucking getting shot from the ground. And it goes around the Earth. It's like this really shit graphic of Earth where America is. The missile hits America, but it blows up the Earth, kind of like how the Death Star explodes. So it's like, yeah, you won. You destroyed America, but you also blew up the whole Earth. Like, what are you fucking thinking?
Donald Trump has his own fucking singing girl band. Not even joking, this is new today. Just watch that for like 30 seconds and not cringe. So essentially, it's called the official, if you YouTube search it, you can YouTube search the official Donald Trump jam. Has 2.6 million views, 24,000 dislikes, and 4,000 likes. And it's just very cringy. I'll play a little bit of it. This shit is so bad.
Oh my god!
Cowardice! Are you serious? Apologies for freedom. I can't handle this.
Oh my god!
When freedom rings, answer the call. On your feet, stand up tall. Freedom's on our shoulders. USA!
There's a lyric in
Enemies
There's a lyric
of
in this
freedom.
I don't know, 28 seconds.
Come on, boys, take them down.
Donald Trump knows how to do something, and
President
if they
Donald
oppose him,
Trump knows
he will
how
crush
to
them.
make America
Some shit,
great.
I don't know. But it's
Deal
like
from
little
strength.
girls.
President,
It's like this is fucking hilarious.
I can't even watch it.
I
literally couldn't make it through the video because I just couldn't. It's so
I really
cringe.
wish we had the capability of you playing it and I can hear it at the same time as you play it.
Yeah.
Outside of
But the best part is the people clapping like a minute into the video. They're like clapping along with it.
Unless we want to go to 0000.
Nah, they've heard enough of it. It's dreadful. Anyway, if you want to go ahead.
I'm gonna go back and watch all of this when we're done because this is too great.
Yeah, but the video is called the official Donald Trump jam for anyone that wants to YouTube search it.
It's got like 24,000 dislikes.
It's
the top
so bad.
comment is literally somebody saying, "Oh God, this is scary."
Look at the comments. This is why other countries hate us.
Finding any black people in the crowd is like playing Where's Waldo.
100% convinced that Trump is a Hillary plant. We talked about that that shit on the other podcast about the Trump conspiracy that he's not really a real candidate. The whole thing is just a ploy to get the Democrats to win.
It's just a trick to trick a majority of it. I mean, because if you're a Democrat, you might actually vote for Trump instead because Hillary, is like,
dude,
so cringy.
So what if it was a conspiracy that Trump was supposed to run just to split the Republican vote? Like it was a conspiracy, but he actually got so popular that he just went along with it. And he's like, "Fuck it, I'll become president." Fuck this shit.
Operation False Hope. Here we go.
Yeah, it's like Operation False Hope, but he actually gets enough of a following where he's like, I could actually be the president. This shit got out of control. Oh, Jesus. Good old Trump, man.
Finding oh my God, cringiest thing I've seen 2016.
Yeah.
How many years until these girls publish a memoir about how awful this was? I gotta hear the song, man, because it's from what I just heard. It's somebody wrote this, and this was
President
rehearsed.
Trump will make America great again.
It's so fucking great.
It's to the tune of the Over There. Over there, send the word to prepare, because the Yanks are coming. But it's just so bad. Oh, Jesus. Anyway,
enemies of freedom, face the music, take them down.
Oh, is there lyrics to this? Did somebody type this out? Did somebody type out the lyrics? Oh.
I'm trying to listen to it to say what the lyrics are, but you were talking. It's just
awful.
It's so scary. It's almost like we're going to war soon, and we're using little girls to get you excited about it. And apparently, at some point in time, there's a guy who balances a poster on his head, because he's just like whatever. Anyway, this is awesome.
Yeah, it's top notch. Well, you got anything you want to pitch, or you want me just to go down the list here?
Unfortunately, I didn't have much. I was again running around like a maniac. Outside of today, no, I really didn't think I haven't seen anything.
Well, I mean, we could always go back to ye old faithful of talking shit about Muslims. We're really good at that.
Have they done a thing again?
Oh, dude. So, and
I love how you went with that. That's our go-to thing. Hive mind.
No, so there's a really interesting thing going on where I actually got a few PMs. I want to talk about this. I got a few private messages from people about the thing about us talking about people in Europe. And what's really funny is that there's a lot of people from Europe that appreciate the stuff we're saying. They go, yes, finally, someone is saying this. But then I also got some PMs from people saying, we should stop talking about this and that we should, that we're idiots and we just need to shut our fucking mouth. But what's funny is I went on those profiles and these people are from the United States. So the people that hate us talking about this are from the US and not having to deal with this, while the people that are appreciating us talking about this are from Europe.
Yeah.
So this is a real weird thing. I'm no stranger to controversy, and I'll talk about whatever I want to, but I do think it's funny that a lot of the people that hate us talking about this stuff aren't being affected by it, whereas some of the people that are being affected by it kind of appreciate the fact that we're not bullshitting.
Yeah, go figure. The people who aren't living in Germany having to deal with the Syrian refugee shit are the ones complaining. Also, go figure, it's Americans, and quite frankly, the term pussification of America is a very real thing. When people get upset that somebody said whatever it is that either one of us said on the podcast, because we didn't say anything extremely negative. It was very, very concise. Don't fucking do that, Muslim people. That's fucking weird. And you're not going to convince any of us that that's a tradition where you come from, because that's just fucking not going to happen. Yeah. Plus, you can't convince us because you can't speak German. So everyone's freaking out, going what's happening? What's going on? So
there's actually a great video. Let me try to find it real quick. Actually, a great video called, this is the title. Ben Shapiro, The Myth of the Tiny Radical Muslim Minority. That's an excellent video that highlights a lot of what I was saying about, yes, it is a minority of Muslims that are radical, but this actually breaks it down by the numbers and just shows you how many fucking millions of people, despite the fact that it's a minority, it's still, Anyway, just check it out. It's called The Myth of the Tiny Radical Muslim Minority, and it's a very well done video in my opinion. But anyway, so you were talking about the pussification of the United States. Well, I actually labeled this in my phone as political correctness has gone too far. The Swedish police have been actively trying to cover up sexual assaults at a music festival. Hiding the truth. Yeah, so...
Okay, just want to make sure I heard you correctly.
Yeah, so Sweden, this is actually a topic that was suggested by a Swedish viewer. A Swedish person actually private messaged me this with the link, saying that Sweden had very low rape rates, low percentage. And now, in Sweden, 78% of all rapes are caused by immigrants. 78%.
Jesus.
That's insane. And apparently Sweden has been trying to cover up crimes related to immigration for a long time. And there's a lot of damning evidence for this. So,
dang, Sweden, you
78%. How is that even fucking real?
We know you want to be all neutral and want everybody to like you, but dude, if people are coming to your country and raping people, you don't need to defend them. You don't have to be that nice.
Yeah.
70% of overall people?
78% of all rapes in Sweden are caused by immigrants. Real stat.
Crazy.
That's fucking nuts. And you know what this means? All hail fucking Trump. It only makes Trump look better. Unfucking real that this could be a thing. Jesus
How does it make him look better?
How does it make Trump look better?
Yeah.
Because Trump is the one that's actively saying, fuck it. Fuck all Muslim immigrants.
Oh, so they're trying to imply that foreigners wink the Muslims are causing the most rape in Sweden.
It's wink wink the Muslims.
Okay, that's the cover-up. The cover-up is that they're trying to say immigrants. It's
it could be any immigrants, but it's mostly
okay. Yeah, it could be French people. It could be Spanish people.
It could be the Canadians coming over.
Sure.
But no, it's not really.
But believe it or not, it's mostly Muslim people or Arab people or whatever. Yeah, that's shocking, actually. It's very shocking, which kind of makes sense of the whole
they're calling them
rape New Year's Eve.
Instead of refugees, they're calling them RAPEfugees.
RAPEfugees, yeah.
That's so fucking awful.
Yeah, I mean, if this can be linked to specifically Muslim people, then that would make sense of the whole like butt tickle of New Year's Eve thing that happened in Germany, which is like, just what do you think you are? What do you think you guys can just rape anybody you want? I know in Syria rape is just you just fucking do it and there's no consequences, but the rest of the world, it's kind of a crime. But again, they can't understand us because they don't speak German. So,
what I think is going to be interesting is So Europe in general is very much anti-gun. They don't like people owning guns. Mm-hmm. I have a feeling that this whole immigration thing is going to shift Europe to be a little bit more pro-gun.
Oh yeah,
I think that this whole like rape issue might persuade people into saying, "Hey, I would kind of like to have a firearm to protect myself," because you got to think about it. You know, from our perspective, like we're big dudes in real life. I'm 6'5", you're what? Probably 6'5", right?
6'2".
Okay, you're short. You little short faggot.
I'm really wide. Though. Like,
you're a big guy. You can
Austria.
Defend yourself. Yeah. So the thing is, and there's a lot of people watching this right now are probably men, and men, for a man, yes, men get raped by other men, but for the most part, men don't get raped like women get raped, because we're stronger and we can defend ourselves better, and in general, it's just kind of hard to pull it off. But if you think about it from the perspective of a woman, if you're a 5'2", 100 and whatever, 10-pound woman, I don't know women's weight proportions and shit like that off the top of my head, whatever. If you're a fucking tiny-ass woman, you're 5'2", you have no real way to defend yourself against a rape without a weapon. You just fucking don't. If some 6'5", giant dude named fucking Akbar wants to rape you, he's just gonna rape you. Whereas in the United States, there's a good chance that fucking woman is gonna have a gun, which is an equalizer. That's what guns are. They, all of a sudden the playing field is at best leveled for that guy, because he could have a gun too, but the playing field is leveled. So I do think that this immigration shit will make Europe a little more pro-gun. We'll see. Who knows?
Yeah, it'll make the gun manufacturers money, which puts money into the economy and gives Wayne LaPierre more of a paycheck to run around and say a good guy with a gun can stop a bad guy with a gun, which, by the way, was one of the worst fucking things anyone could say in 2015.
Wait, what happened?
Wayne LaPierre, he's the head of the NRA.
Yeah.
And he said, his famous quote from 2015 is, "The only thing that can stop a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun." Well, what the hell does that mean? Well, that means everybody who doesn't own a gun, you should own a gun. And guess what? When you buy guns from gun manufacturers who pay my paycheck, who pay for the NRA to exist, we all make more money. You're welcome. Buy a gun. A gun for you, a gun for you. And so, yeah, fine, fuck it. If everybody wants to own a gun, that's fine. And now Texas has this, not to segue away from this, but Texas just passed that law recently that said that you can now openly carry a gun. Instead of concealed carry, it's open carry now. You have to, I believe you have to take like a short course or something. But
wait, you can always open carry.
No, not in Texas. It was concealed carry. Now it's open carry.
No, you citizens. Can open. I just think you've got the terminology wrong. You've always been able to open carry. Like you can walk down the sidewalk with a fucking AR-15 on your back right now if you wanted to, anywhere. That's just a second. Yeah, that's just a second. Yeah.
So all of the videos I've been seeing about Texas passing this law and them, basically the focal point is now you can carry a gun around and it doesn't have to be concealed. All of that's just false then, apparently, because why would there be new news stories about it?
Did you link me one of the news stories? I think you just maybe they made concealed carry easier to get. That could be a thing. But from my understanding, you've always just been able to carry around guns. Like, you can have a fucking pistol holster on your side. I'm not familiar with this, so I could be wrong. I'm not saying I'm right. But I don't know. I don't know what they would pass with open carry. Maybe I need to do some Googling. Texas concealed carry.
They do not need a permit to carry a concealed weapon in the vehicle. That's from September. This is sort of a new thing.
That would make sense. If they don't need a permit, that would make sense. I think that's what it probably is. They probably made it to where in Texas you don't need to have a permit to carry a concealed gun. That, if I had to guess, I'm not familiar with how they changed it. Concealed carriers claim, fucking who cares? Whatever. Texas is crazy. They're crazy over there. But yeah, to circle back to Europe, I do think that the fear of rape over there will make people more pro-gun. And I know it sounds fucked up for me to say that, and I know a lot of people probably think that we're like gun-touting Americans and we want everyone to have guns. I don't really care either way, but I do think that that's just inevitably going to happen. I think people are going to lean more towards pro-gun if you're having issues with fucking mass rape, like a lot of places in Europe are. So,
yeah, it's more or less.
And Europe is inherently more fucking dangerous now. I mean, you know what happened in Turkey? 10 fucking suicide bomber in Turkey. 10 people killed. He was a refugee. Shocker.
Yeah, that's fucked. I'm on like the warpath to figure out where the fuck this video was that I saw talking about this as a news.
I tried Googling it, and I just normally you get like a first result if you type in anything like relevant to like upcoming news or like recent news, but I didn't see anything about it.
Yeah.
But if I had to guess, it would be more laxed concealed carry permit stuff, because right now my understanding of the law is that you can just carry a gun around as long as it's not like a gun-free zone. Like, you could walk down the fucking side, and there's YouTube videos of people doing this, which I think is asinine, by the way. Don't fucking do that shit. Don't walk through the fucking park with an AR-15 on your back, you fucking idiot. Yes, you can do it, but don't be a fucking asshole.
Yeah, don't
just
do
like
that
a little
shit.
attention whore. Get the fuck out of here with that shit.
Especially because that little 12-year-old kid got shot carrying a fake gun. And cops somebody called the police and said, "Oh, I think it was a girl. I'm not too sure if it was a boy or girl. I think it was like a 12-year-old black child. They were running around near the park carrying a fake gun. It's a toy gun. Somebody called the cops and said, "There's a kid with a gun at the park." Cops pull up, don't even question the kid, and they immediately shoot this kid to death. And it's just like, this kind of shit needs to stop. But yeah, you shouldn't. Even if you can, you shouldn't. I apologize for bringing this up. I thought it was a open carry is now a thing, but I guess not. But that's the impression I got, because they were like, look at how proud these Texans are to carry a gun and all this other shit.
No, you've always been able to do that.
Yeah, okay. Well, that makes sense. I mean,
yeah, you can go. There's a whole YouTube fucking genre of people. Like, I bet if you just go on YouTube and type in open carry, you'll see a video of a dude walking around the fucking block with an AR-15. And then people come up and confront him. He's like, "Get my Second Amendment right." Yeah, power-hungry cops respond to open carry. Dallas will not be Paris. #open carry. And it's just like these attention whores walking around. And I'm all for the Second Amendment, obviously, but like, you're just being an asshole. If you're walking around a park where, concerned mothers have their kids out and you've got a fucking AR-15 on your back, "Here's my Second Amendment right." You're just being a fucking attention whore, you little faggot. Honestly, like, get the fuck out of here with that shit. You just make gun people look bad with that shit. Anyway,
yeah, I can't find any trace of this, but anyway, this isn't really much to talk about. I only have one little thing to say about this. Apparently, there's a guy on the internet called Matthew Santoro, who has millions of subscribers.
Yeah, and he was the one that was dating that crazy
Nicole Arbour or some shit. I don't know who these fucking people are. But apparently he was in an abusive relationship with her. She forced him to remove female friends from his Facebook. She forced him to not be friends with girls because she was like, yo, you're cheating on other girls if you have friends with girls. Matthew Santoro, I hope you hear what I'm about to say. You're a fucking pussy.
Yeah, you just got a
Don't go on the internet and bitch about, oh, it's an abusive relationship. You fucking let her manipulate you. You fucking pussy. Get your shit straight. And all these people who feel sorry for you, fuck you too. I hate that shit. Yeah. This guy, apparently I'm supposed to care. I get it. Guys can be raped. Guys can be beat up by their girlfriends. Guys can be in abusive relationships. But you're describing your specific abuse that you received as simply some shit that's common sense. You say no, you dump the bitch. She did some
crazy stuff though. Like,
yes, you dump a crazy bitch.
Oh yeah, no, he should have manned up a little earlier for sure.
Yeah, dude, what the fuck? And now
he just got a crazy one and didn't know how to deal with it. I've been in that situation before where I've been pussy whipped and done some stupid shit. Luckily, nothing that crazy, but this bitch was like saying like she was gonna cut herself and then blame it on him so he would get in trouble with the police and just shit like that. Just like over the top.
And I would have no problem. That would not bother me at all. Oh, she ended up cutting. I dumped this crazy person.
Yeah, she's just crazy.
She ends up cutting herself, and I'm supposed to feel like it's like I'm involved in that decision that she cut herself. Fuck you, Matthew. Yeah. Throw a pair of balls, you fucking bitch. Everything about this is lighting up my Twitter feed left and right.
There's gonna be some people that fucking hate us for saying this. Like,
I don't care. God. You can hate. Don't hate us. You can hate me all you want. I'll say some shit.
Oh, I agree. I agree with you though. Like,
I don't believe in this guy's abuse. I believe.
I believe in his abuse, but I believe he
it doesn't come off as genuine to me. I
think it's genuine. I just think he was being like he just got pussy whipped. That's all it was. Like the pussy was so good that he was just like, fuck, this crazy bitch. She's got me by the balls. God damn it. He won't do it again. I guarantee it won't happen to do it again.
The thing of it is, in the relationship when it comes to YouTube, as far as I understand it, he was very successful on YouTube at like whatever, 1 million and something subscribers.
Yeah.
She shows up in his life, is part of his vlog channel.
Uh-huh.
And then this abusive relationship happens over a period of time. People watch their vlogs. I don't know if they do daily vlogs or whatever, but people watch it and they're a part of it. And for them to break up and then the internet go crazy because this guy gets on camera bawling his fucking eyes out crying because he was being manipulated by her to do things that he knew he didn't want to do, but he did anyway because he's a fucking idiot. And then people feeling sorry for him. I'm sorry, I don't.
This is what I like. This is what I heard this terminology before. I didn't come up with this. I wish I did. It's very clever, but they call that voodoo pussy where where it's the pussy is so good that dudes do shit that makes no sense.
That's the opposite of dickmatized.
Yeah, dude, yeah. It's just you can't explain it. Like you can't be like we can't sit here and be like, "Oh my god, I can't believe he did that." It's just like a voodoo pussy situation where you just can't. It's just like, "Oh man, that's real tragic that he had that fucking whatever."
And guess what, Matthew? Hundreds of thousands
He's free
of
now.
people,
He's like as long as he doesn't relapse.
Thousands of people every day get abused
by voodoo pussy.
Actually get fucking abused. Okay? People get abused and it's serious shit. Your situation is not serious. And yet you made a big fucking stink.
But he just, I don't know.
And I hope you fucking know how to move on with your life, because if you return to this crazy bitch, the internet will turn on you.
Yeah,
like fucking knife.
That's the thing. Like, so yeah, I think that's the thing that is unforgivable. Like, if he does go back to her, because like everyone's like said, like don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. And if he just does it again, then yeah. If he does it again, then yeah, bad move. If he makes the same mistake over and over and over again, then I agree. But if it's just a one-time thing and he got caught up with this crazy bitch, I can forgive that because I have fucking done that. And the crazy girls are fun, man. And anybody that disagrees, you don't know. Look, nice girls are great, but a nice girl doesn't suck your dick in a movie theater. Like, come on. Like, crazy girls are kind of nice too at the same time. In short spurts, as long as they're not fucking insane. Like, as long as you can get in and out, like, quick, you're good.
Yeah, the thing is that most people who are now jumping on the bandwagon of saying, "Oh, you're the victim, don't feel bad, Matt," they don't understand. This guy has broken up with this girl multiple times and goes back to her.
Yeah, he's just...
And then now this is going to be different, Matt. If you make a video where you cry like a little bitch and then you say, oh, I've been abused, which, by the way, you weren't actually abused. There are people out there who get their asses killed over this kind of shit, and you're like, oh, look at me, I'm a handsome, successful YouTube guy, and I'm going to cry and let everyone know. Now if you go back with her, you're fucked. You're absolutely
if he does it again,
if you go back and you find, and it's like, here's my new girlfriend, and her name is whatever, and she's like crazy too, people are going to fucking heel turn on you, man. So he didn't need to make the video is all I'm saying. It's really selfish when these people make these fucking videos and they cry, oh, Alan Rickman died, he was my favorite. Yeah, I loved him in Harry Potter. Swifty got banned. Swifty.
Dude, that shit was so unreal. Stupid. When Swifty got banned, everyone made a video, and I'm sitting there like, fuck! Because it just made everything so much worse for me.
Swifty, see, the difference is Swifty didn't fucking set the camera up in his nice bedroom and fucking cry crocodile tears.
He did do that. He actually did do that.
Did he actually cry?
Let's go watch the video.
I didn't see him cry. Swifty. I've seen him sitting in front of his computer.
He's like, I don't know. Like, no.
He's upset. He's actually visually upset.
Dude, he made a video
but he's not
with him,
fucking crying crocodile tears, dude.
Dude, it's a sad video. All right, let's... Okay, this is pretty goddamn close to crying, though.
You can't compare Swifty's video.
No, I'm not comparing it. I'm just saying, I was just making a funny joke about how, like, everyone made those videos. And this is hilarious. I'm not butthurt about this. This is hilarious thinking back at it now. But I just know when everybody was making those videos, like, sorry you got banned, Swifty, that just made my situation, because everyone blamed me for it, just so much worse. Because everyone's like, I hope you get unbanned. That really sucks. You got banned. And it was like, fuck Zybak. Like, all the comments were like, fuck Zybak on those videos. I love it. I love it. But yeah, this Swifty banned video, if you watch it, you see the sad music.
Yeah, but that's put in there intentionally.
Yeah.
Any idiot can go to like fucking find some stupid music and put that shit in there. I'm talking about like getting on camera and you have to understand.
Just pointing the finger.
Well, dude, look at like 1 minute and 50. Look at 150 into the video, like 155. Like you can tell he's like, I don't know. I think he's legitimately sad though. That's the thing. Very much legitimate. And I would be sad too, dude, if I got banned during that period of World of Warcraft, when World of Warcraft was actually still kind of good, because I was at the start of Cataclysm before shit went really downhill. It's like right before it got bad. I would have been sad too. And he's okay to be sad. But that video was made intentionally to be sad with the fucking music and the black and white and all that shit.
Yes, but the point I'm trying to get across to you, Zybak, is you have to not be fooled by someone who has that kind of popularity on YouTube, who looks the way he looks. This guy he prepped himself for this video so that he would cry. This guy fucking cried, and it was illegitimate, and it looks fake. That's what I don't get. Why are you?
I didn't. I saw the video. Like I saw the video. Like I heard people talking about it. I just didn't watch it.
It's not like I'm saying the whole video is him bawling. It's the very beginning of the video. He's like trying to get the strength to say it, and he's like, it's like, what? Really? You would think a normal human being would cry, get their emotions out, and then go, okay, now I'm going to make this video, because you would want to cry off camera. Normal people do not film themselves crying to garner attention. People like Matthew Santoro do this shit because they're big YouTubers and they can make more of a shock out of it for you.
Yeah, there maybe could have been. There probably was some showmanship to it. Like,
and that's what I don't like.
There could have been. I'm not discounting that.
I've said everything I need to say about this. I'm not going to repeat myself. The guy, whatever. Fix your shit, Matt. Good luck. Just don't date another crazy bitch, because everyone will turn on you.
Yeah, if he does it again and again, then it's bad.
The only reason that they will turn on you, Matt, is because you made a video of you crying talking about this. If we never saw this, and you just broke up with her and now you're with a different bitch, there'd be no problem. No one would ever turn on. They'd be like, oh, good job, you dumped the crazy bitch. Good job, Matt. But no, now we see a video of you crying like a dumbass and going, oh, there are people who get abused so much that they commit suicide, Matt. Just because you had to delete a couple people on Facebook. Get the fuck out of here. Anyway, that's my contribution to that.
Dude,
I just
people are
that.
gonna hate us so much for saying that.
I'm sorry, I love you, brother, but fix your shit. You know?
Yeah.
You're not that important, Matt.
See, this is like. It's so weird because like I'm all for like. like there definitely is a thing where men's rights are shit on, like so much much in modern society. It is a thing. But like at the same time, like it is hard to feel bad for this dude if he got back with this girl again.
Oh my god, you sit there and you say like, wow, people are gonna hate us. You know, if you don't say that, you're not giving anybody an invitation to hate us. But then you go and say men's rights are kind of shit on in this country. Well, there you go. You didn't even have to say anything.
I just don't want people to think that we're shitting on men's rights as a whole, because there is very much an issue with divorce, rape, and fucking dudes in general just not being cared about or being shit on just because they're dudes. I very much get that. I get that that's a thing. But at the same time, this is just a classic case of voodoo pussy and just being pussy whipped and being sucked in because this chick's crazy and it's so good when it's good, but it's so bad all the rest of the time. That
I think it's a step forward in maturity if you think that the whole relationship you should do everything she says because having sex with this woman is like the best thing on the planet. Guess what? Sex gets fucking boring after a while. I don't believe it or not. You're gonna get to a point where like, yeah, sex, it's gonna get redundant because you realize doing it is the only purpose in doing it is to wrap around to our other topic is to make babies. It gets boring after a while. That's why we fucking look for other mates to have sex with because we're men. That's what we do. But this guy's like, I'm not a man. I like this one girl. Oh, she sucks the best dick. Really? All right. Well, I'd like to see her book she writes about sucking the best dick because you are proof that she must be the best. When in reality, she's a bitch who made a video ranting about how fat people are like subhuman and all this shit. And he tore open Boogie2988. He replied to her saying like, look, I respect your opinion, but a lot of what you said was hurtful and kind of mean. And she just replied with, fuck you, I don't care. Dude, so I'm supposed to feel bad? Oh, she's
like a real Zybak, fucking alpha really though. At the same time, with that's crazy though. Like she knows she's crazy and she knows she can get away with it. That's the scariest thing. It's not like she's like a crazy person that's trying to be nice. Like she fucking knows that she knows what she's working with and she's working it. And it's just like, fuck! That's so scary. God damn.
She made a personal channel while she was with this guy. And her personal channel now has, over time, not like over a weekend, has like 1.5 million views subscribers. But now, I feel like a lot of people are drawn to like genuine people. So yeah, you got 1.5 million subscribers, but good luck if you put out anything creative on your channel from now on. Everyone's just gonna go fuck you, downvotes. You're a crazy bitch, and you abused a guy. It's like, yeah, okay.
I don't know. There's probably a lot of girls that are like, you go, girl.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there will be a few, but, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of that shit with, to bring it back around to men's rights where, like, these girls, they, like, not these girls, as in, like, I'm not referring to anyone specifically, but there's a lot of women.
Got to get your PC game up there.
There's a lot of women that really have that you get yours girl when it comes to like divorce raping some poor dude and taking all of his shit, and there'll be like a cheerleading squad of other women going, yeah, you go, you fuck him over as hard as possible, you divorce rape the shit out of him. It's
yeah. And that's why if I ever get married, which I probably never will do because it's fucking silly, I will have a prenuptial agreement, and if she doesn't agree to it,
she's not going to get any of that $2,300.
No, she's not. She's not going. I mean, I just have aspirations for myself being successful. If I meet somebody I really like, I'm going to be like, look, I built this for myself. You get none of it. And if you're not cool with that, we're not getting married. Period. That's the brick wall. Same thing. It's like with you and babies. No fucking babies. But I want babies. Well, then we're not really meant to be together.
No.
The relationship's over, and guess what, Matt? I didn't have to make a video about that. That just fucking happened because I'm a man, and I decided that's how I want to live my life. So there you go.
Yeah.
Hopefully in the future I meet a girl who's like, yeah, cool, prenup, fine, I love you. Cool, because then I love her even more for that, because she understands.
I don't think it'll get to that. I just think a lot of young people just aren't getting married anymore. Like, it's just like a thing that people just are doing less now.
Well, I would say this, actually, in my experience, not that this is like a stat I'm seeing on the news or anything, but I feel like a lot of young people if they want to get married, they don't do the wedding ceremony.
Yeah, it's so much money. Like, everyone's so fucking poor now.
Because it costs so much. Because like, have you ever been to like a low budget wedding? It really is boring.
Yeah,
I went to a wedding that didn't have a party. It didn't have whatever the name of the party is after the wedding, with the food and to get together and dance.
Reception.
The reception.
Yeah.
I was like, there's no reception? Yeah, you just came to watch us go and do this shit in a church. I'm like,
fuck, no free booze.
I can't mingle with anybody, make new friends, network. No, there's none of that. I'm glad you got married. I love you guys, but no party at the...
Yeah,
and then like who else is okay with
up
this
with the bridesmaids or anything? It's just like,
right.
Fuck.
The important
what is this?
Shit. Yeah. So it's like weird. So yeah, I would think that a lot of them just go to the court, do the thing, because you have to have witnesses, like, you know, no ceremony. And I think that's the smartest way to go about it. But I mean, if you've got rich parents, or if your parents can fucking pay for it, have the best wedding you want. But then there's all that cliche bullshit where it's like, spend a lot on your wedding because it's the only one you're ever gonna have.
Yeah, until you get divorced, because it's like 60% of everyone that gets married gets divorced.
Divorce. That's what I'm saying. There should be a ceremony for getting divorced.
Yeah, really.
I'd go to that shit. That's awesome.
Why is the bachelor party before the wedding? The bachelor party should be after the fucking divorce.
Divorce, yeah, dude. It's the re-entry into the
marketplace
party. Yeah, the marketplace.
Oh.
Well, we just created like the easiest fucking idea on the planet. You're welcome, everybody.
Yeah, really.
Shit. Bachelor party after the divorce and a divorce ceremony. I want to see that shit.
Yeah. And that is another thing too. A lot of young people aren't getting married because their parents got divorced. Like, it's just like, marriage is not like something, like some magical thing like it used to be where people would get married and actually stay married. It's like uncommon now. Like, if you're a married person that stayed married, you're in the minority now. Like, if you're one of those people that's been married for like 50 to 60 years, you're rare.
Congratulations. You have a lot of presents from all those anniversaries and shit. I think that's really the fun part about it. It's like the anniversaries have different themes, like silver, wood, and all that shit. You have to give gifts.
People stay married.
No. I'm just saying that's like a caveat outside of like the tax stuff that you can avoid. That's like a caveat on top of that. Like, oh, they've been married 5 years. Cool. I got to get them a gift. What is it? Glass. Okay, cool, neat. You know. But yeah.
Yeah, one of my friends is actually getting married, which is real scary. He's the same age I am. He's getting married this summer.
Well, you know, get invited to the wedding.
Yeah, I am invited to the wedding. I'm pretty sure anyway. Maybe not. It's not that I think it's that.
Why do you think
I
it's
think
scary?
His situation is fine. I don't think that anything. I think that he'll be all right, but I still don't think I'm going to get married.
Yeah, you never know, but just don't
yeah.
waste a lot of money. That's all.
Yeah, I think I know. Like, I know that it sounds fucking really arrogant to say that. To say, like, I'm pretty sure I don't want kids, and I'm pretty sure I'm not going to get married, but I'm really fucking sure. Mm-hmm. Like, I am really fucking sure. It would take a massive change for me to not be sure.
Yeah, you'd have to see the right movie. It's kind of like
I was see, and this is the thing that makes me even more sure is that I've always been that way. Like, let's say, like, back when I was 16, I was 90% sure I wasn't going to get married. As the years have gone on, that percentage has gone up higher. It's not like I've gotten older and I've been a little bit more open-minded to it. No, it's just like my mind has gotten more and more closed on these two ideas as I get older. Yeah. Which is why I think I'm actually not going to change.
Yeah. And the thing that a lot of people need to understand when you hear people like Zybak say that is they just don't want to get married. They're not against the concept of having like a partner.
Yeah.
For the rest of somebody that they like, who they can lean on for the rest of their lives that they really like. And, you know,
I love you so much,
if that
baby.
pussy's really good,
involved.
then yeah, okay. But, you know, we're not against that. It's just that this marriage is like fucking stupid, man. Yeah, and you know whose fault it is? It's everybody's fucking getting divorced in the past's fault. It's like, God, it used to. I could imagine a world where marriage is like super serious, and now it's like, fuck you, you know?
Yeah. See, the thing about marriage is like people change, like a lot. When I look back at even in the 5 years I've been doing YouTube, I guess 6 now that I've been doing YouTube, I look back at my old videos and I'm like, wow, I don't think like that anymore. Like, I can't imagine being married to somebody for a long time because you're not in love with the person you married. You're in love with the new person that they are, which is beautiful in a way. But people people change a lot, like a fucking lot, especially over like a 50-year period.
1 second, my friend. 1 second, my friend. So we have a guest appearance here. What's your name, sir?
This is Mac. I'm calling you because you understand now.
I don't know what the hell you're saying, dude.
I didn't understand what he said.
You got a specialist understand?
I can't tell what you're saying.
Hello, Amma.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, this is Mac. I've been waiting for you to text me. You told me you'll be texting me as soon as I get the contact.
Yeah.
What the fuck? I
texted you what will happen, and we can't do anything. We can't do anything until Monday because the banks are closed over the weekend.
Okay, no problem. I'll be waiting till next Monday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I'll see you Monday. Fucking idiot. I can tell you.
Indian?
He's Chinese, and the phone call was from Atlanta. He's the asshole who's been texting me about the check that I got.
The fake one?
The fake one. And he's the one. It's like all of his texts are in like broken English, and now I ignore him. Right? I'm like, whatever, dude. Because I still have that fraud check, and I'm like, I'm gonna go to the bank on Monday and see what the fuck. Because if they just say no, then it's a fraud check, and I just let him know that I'm onto his scheme, and then he'll leave me alone. But now he calls me, and it's in like, this dude cannot speak English.
Like, why are you even fucking with this guy if you got paid?
No, not from his little scheme, but like, I mean, I'm happy that I got paid money. This is independent from the class action suit thing.
Oh, this is a completely different guy?
This is me replying to an ad on Craigslist that says, we will give you $500 a month if you put a sticker of NOS Energy on the side of your car and you drive around with it. And I said,
really?
Sign me.
Shit.
Yes, sign me up, dude. I'm all
fuck, I'll do that shit.
Yeah, and so he said, okay, and then he sent me the fake check, the fraudulent check, and I'm like, okay, well, I'll get this to the bank or whatever, and I'm just like,
you got like a serious issue with fake checks. Like, I've never had this shit happen in my life.
Just fucking with him. I'm just like, dude, just leave me alone, man. You can't speak English, but you call me.
Why do people mail shit if it's gonna be fake checks?
I don't know why.
Like, it costs money to mail shit. Like, what is the deal with this?
Yeah, there's no result. There's absolutely no result. So it's like, what the fuck? I go to the bank. They say it's a fraudulent check. I leave. I basically waste gas money just to tell you, by the way, it's a fraud check, you idiot. Don't you know that banks know about this crap? So it's really silly.
Yeah.
But you could hear him. He's like, hello, Aaron. Yeah. When you gotta tell me when to make the Chinese noodle. I'm like, shut the fuck up, idiot.
What is the... So this guy works for NOS Energy? Like, what's his end game?
I don't know. And I haven't been sent any legal paperwork or anything as if to, like, there's an agreement between you and I.
That sounds a little too good to be true.
No, I mean, I imagine...
with a sticker on your car for $500 a month?
I imagine that it's a real thing, but they're just aping off of that real thing to, like, commit some form of, like, money laundering.
Yeah, I can see
something. So basically his instructions were take the check to the bank, cash it, and then send via Western Union, subtract $500 of it for your pay for having the sticker on your car. Send the rest of it via Western Union to a contact. Which, by the way, this chink hasn't given me the contact for a week now. Wait, so
you're sending money to people?
No, I'm not sending. We don't have Western Union where I live.
Oh.
This guy's like, use Western Union. Send to contact. And I'm like, okay, and I'm not telling him this, right? But he hasn't sent me an actual contact. He hasn't given me information to whom I'm supposed to send money to. So this guy is failing.
Anytime something gets that complicated, it's always
bullshit. And he's still like I think he's actually the guy. Like, the joke's on him. Somebody's fucking with this guy because I'm like, dude, you're not giving me the information. Yeah. But it's always some broken English shit, and it's always like, long time no. Why the big silent? Send the money to contact. So the idea is I'm supposed to send some money to some person who will then show up and put the sticker on my car. When in reality, I'm pretty sure that if NOS were actually doing something
money to
like
anybody,
this,
it's fucking gone in this.
Yeah, of course. I'm not going to send money to anybody. Of course not. I can't send money to anybody because the check he sent is fraudulent. The bank is just going to say, this is a fraud check. We're not going to cash nothing.
Yeah, I guess they're just hoping on somebody sending the money before they find out that check is fake.
Yes.
Yeah,
he's in on it. He's like stage 3 of like this fucking scam, and I'm stage 4, and it's not going to work. You know, what do you, and then I send money to so-and-so, and then they will come to my apartment with the sticker to put on my car, and then you will pay me $500 every month because a sticker is on my car. Do you think I'm dumb, people? Like, that's so stupid. Plus, it's a broken English Asian man probably using a proxy to call me from Atlanta. So what the fuck, dude? The joke's on you, man. Sorry.
That's pretty bad. It's like all those YouTube networks that we get contacted from. Join our network.
Sure. Yeah.
Fuck.
Join our network, man. You'll make so much money. Did you see those Markiplier numbers? You'll be making those in a year. Like, yeah,
$50 CPMs. It's like, really? No.
Oh, I also wanted to do this. I wanted to say this on the podcast. I recently, about like maybe 2 weeks ago, found out that George Vanous, the former CEO of TGN, is now running another scam MCN that you should probably absolutely avoid. Anybody who hears this who has aspirations. The Freedom Network. Do not join the Freedom Network.
I think Keemstar is with them, actually. Not even joking. I'm pretty sure he is.
Good for him, then, because he's probably making George a lot of money, and he's probably fine with that himself. George Vanous will sell that fucking MCN for a lot of money and bail on you and not pay you. Like, towards the end of his tenure, you will not get paid. Same shit happened with TGN, and we found out shortly after that.
That dude is really good at starting up YouTube networks. So
he had an MCN. No, yeah, he's really good at being like a creepy old man who's like, "Yay!" Just look at any George Vanous video where he's like, a green screen behind him, and he's like,
"I met my wife in Taiwan" or some shit. And he's like,
"Right,
what?"
Or just,
and then he had like this thing where he wanted to bring a bunch of YouTubers to Taiwan. I was like, "What the fuck is going on here?"
No, see, he used to live in Canada, and when he sold TGN, he bailed on Canada to go live in the Philippines or Taiwan, whichever.
Yeah, I think it was the Philippines.
So that's where he is now. But because he had moved countries, he wasn't obligated to do certain shit as far as like payments and stuff. And then the TGN was picked up and rebranded by some people, and it's sat in mediocrity forever. TGN, avoid them too, because they are bullshit. But yeah, I saw that he had a new network, and one of the videos of him is like, the Freedom Network has reached 1 billion views, and like his dumbass green screen is, guess what? Fucking eSports, like just a sea of people ready to watch like the StarCraft World Finals or something. It's like, look at all these people. Yeah, billion views. That isn't even not related to you at all, George. You fucking cock.
Yeah, I'm curious how Freedom Network.
You can join a new network. It's called Freedom. Where we, unlike those, I just hate the way he dictates his words. It's like he's got autism or something. He's just like,
yeah. I'm looking. They've got some big YouTubers in this shit, dude.
Yeah,
they're legit.
Yeah, Machinima had some big YouTubers too, and then they all fucking bailed. So yeah, I mean,
I don't know. I'm hesitant to talk shit about a network before I know anything about them. But
I have no problem. George Vanous is a scumbag, fraud, hack, who offers many things and never delivers on them because you are making him money by being sucked into the idea that you are going to somehow grow your channel and make a career out of YouTube. You will not. He will suck every penny out of you, and you will eventually leave, and you will join networks that make sense.
Yeah. So
I'm not gonna fucking suggest that.
Essentially, for all the people that don't know or might be up and coming YouTubers potentially watching this, the only reason to join a network is for their marketing team. For them to sell ads for you to your channel. So I'm with Machinima right now, still, because I am paid more because they pay. They have a marketing team that goes to video game companies and movie companies and whatever, and they sell my channel to advertisers. That's the only reason you want to be in a network. That's it. So if you go to, let's say, Curse, if you go to Curse and you join Curse, you are trusting them to sell ads for your channel better than Google would if they just put up default ads. And the same thing goes for like a YouTube network that I was going to join because it made sense was IGN. I was going to join IGN when they were doing a YouTube network because I was like, IGN has a kick-ass sales team. They sell ads like a motherfucker. IGN has lots of like good high-paying ads because they have to sell stuff for their website, and you know they've just got a lot of connections. But IGN actually, they don't even have a YouTube network anymore. They cut all those people free because I guess it was starting to dip into their profits off their own website. That they just cut everybody loose, so they're not even a thing anymore. That's the only reason to join a network, guys. For all you wondering, it's the ads, them selling ads, the premium ads on your channel. That's it.
They try to get the right ads that make sense for your audience.
Yep.
Instead of like, oh, I'm going to click this video. Hey, welcome to Menards. Come on down to Menards. We got $2 for buckets. So buckets on sale at Menards.
And you're like, what the fuck is that? On a video like this. Like, it just wouldn't make sense. Like, for our 99% male viewer audience
to get the 1-800-Flowers.com.
Yeah.
What the fucking shit is that?
Whereas if you were to get a trailer for the new Iron Man movie, that would be far better. Like, a far more effective ad. Or, those big dick condoms. Because all of our viewers have these just massive dicks, these huge schlongs that don't fit into normal condoms. So, this huge cock condom ads.
And apparently they have like
insane click rate on our
click-through rates, man.
everyone that watches this podcast just has this huge cock. It's just massive and glorious.
That ad that's popping up right now for huge condoms. Sorry, we're just truth bombing you right now.
Yeah. Sorry.
And shout out to you probably know the name of the person from the subreddit, the PC Master Race subreddit, who they posted their rig and their girlfriend's rig, and in the picture they're listening to our podcast.
Yeah, that was cool. They have that unintentional shout out.
Yeah,
and then some guy was like, "What is that? The listen while you game?" He's like, "Oh yeah, some random podcast I had on when I took this picture." It's like, "Yeah, fuck yeah." We'll take that.
Well, he didn't say random. He said it was this. It's this podcast hosted by, and then he linked to your subreddit, and he did like what you should normally do when you link shit, which was really nice and respectful. So
good on that guy.
Shout out to you, guy. I don't know what his name is, but you got a killer fucking rig.
Yeah, you had a cool setup too. Yeah.
Jeez, I thought that was
people are liking the podcast, despite, it's not getting crazy fucking views or anything, but the people that are watching for a long period of time. Like, I can go in the analytics and see how long people have watched, and the average view time is just going up and up. It was at like 35 minutes on the last podcast. Like, the average person listened for a straight 35 minutes, and that counts all the people that clicked off like immediately because they're like, oh, I want to watch this podcast, and then, oh, I'm gonna go do this other thing instead. Like, that counts as like a big fat zero when people do that shit. So for it to be all the way up to like 35 minutes is very good in my opinion.
Definitely you have to have the time. And it's another thing too about doing this is like as more we've only, what are we at? 9?
Yeah, I think this is 9.
As we're doing this, we're obviously conditioning everyone to go, hey, look, there's going to be a podcast and it's going to be X number of hours long. If you got time to listen to it while you're doing the dishes or playing a game, I personally listen to all my podcasts when I'm playing Heroes of the Storm to do my dailies, because it's in the background. I do my dailies. It's like a nice chill thing to do. And now you know that you're going to have time to listen to them whenever you're exercising, whatever the fuck it is. Whereas before there was no podcast on this channel. So there was no like sort of product like this. So now you guys are starting.
And plus there's a backlog. Really, I've noticed that people are watching the older ones as well. Like, it's not like it's just a topical thing where the old videos just die the second the week is over. People are watching the old stuff too. So
they want to get
hopefully as we get a catalog, it'll evolve. Mm-hmm. And that's actually something I like to do. Do you ever do that where you watch an old podcast back from like 2011 where people are predicting like what's going to happen, and just to see how accurate it is? Like, I think that's very interesting to do.
Not to bring up pro wrestling, but there was a time where a podcast that I listened to that is pro wrestling related, they did a callback and they said, go back and listen to our podcast right before Chris Benoit killed his family, and you will hear us predict Chris Benoit killing his family. And I was like, there's no fucking way you predicted that. And then I went back and I listened to it because they had linked it. Like, they didn't make me dig through the trash to find it. And they're like, and they're sitting there going, because they're Italian guys from New York, and they're like, I'm pretty sure Chris Benoit's got a lot of those head injuries and the concussions. He might actually go apeshit, because the news was that Chris Benoit was supposed to show up for like a pay-per-view and he didn't, and they were supposed to show up for Monday Night Raw and he didn't, and no one knew where he was. And so finally somebody said, hey, we got this guy, Chris Benoit. He lives here. Can we get a wellness check? And the cops showed up, and he, after a show one day, he just went home, killed his family, and put Bibles next to them, and hung himself.
Wow.
And the reports were that he had so many traumatic head injuries, because he would dive from the top rope and headbutt people. So he'd been hit in the head so much that this whole concussion thing that now we're in 2016 talking about it. There's a movie with Will Smith about it and everything, and that's kind of where that came from. And I was shocked. That's the only instance where I was like, I'll go back in time and listen to old podcasts. I personally don't.
That concussion shit is really changing the landscape of sports. Like for young kids, like a lot of the parents that have kids aren't letting them play football. And I used to play football, and I really don't blame them. Football is really just inherently just very fucking bad about that. I remember when I played football, I remember fucking laying people out, and the best hits in football are helmet to helmet. Like, there's no way they can change the game to have it not be dangerous. Like, football would have to be radically different for it to not be unsafe to play.
I think no one's arguing that the helmets now are not safe enough. It's just the repeated
it's over and over, every play is
over the course of years of playing
clashing.
Yeah, it's over the years. I mean, hell, this is my big sports thing. I didn't do any. We're the same size. I didn't play fucking basketball. I didn't play football. I was a bowler, and you bowl a 16-pound ball down a lane enough for over the years,
fuck your joints up.
Your fucking shoulder joints start to go, hey, what the fuck is? Why are you doing this? You're human. You're not supposed to do this constantly. But and then there's technique involved in that. So it's kind of like how people who play tennis get tennis elbow. It's all about technique. So this normally wouldn't happen to my arm, but it did, and then whatever. No one's making a movie about that shit, Smith. Come on, but
the Will Smith bowling movie. I'm sure I would sell so many tickets. It's like some guy grabbing his fucking shoulder. He's like, "Ow, it hurts." It's like stop bowling.
And then he turns 60 and goes, something's wrong. And they say, it's all those years of bowling. And then he just dies next week. And there's like, whatever.
Yeah, but...
he looks really good in that fucking movie, by the way.
It should be a good movie.
If you look at a picture of what Will Smith looks like today, and I don't know what his age is right now, but you put a picture of him side by side with a picture of him from that movie, they make him look older. And he does so well in that movie.
Yeah.
Not that I've seen it. I've seen scenes and
shit. The only thing I can think of that would make football... safer would be if the helmets weren't hard. If they were like almost soft leather, I feel like that could maybe dampen it, because the problem with football is that your best weapon as a football player, if you want to fuck somebody up, is your head. Because it's this hard, you got this fucking rock on your head that you can use as a spear to just fuck people up, whether that's helmet to helmet or obviously you can't spear somebody in the fucking stomach with it. That's a penalty, but essentially, all of the hardest hitting tackles are always leading with the head, and there's a reason for that. It's because it's the hardest part of, your pads are hard, but they give. They've got, they flex and they give, whereas your helmet is just this fucking rock that you can just smash into people with. And when you ring somebody's bell and you hit them, that's what it's called. When you hit somebody helmet to helmet real hard and they're fucking dazed when they get up and they're fucked up and it, really shook them up. It's called ringing somebody's bell. That's what it was called when I played football.
It's almost like I'm seeing I'm hearing the concussion culture come out of you as you just get more and more passionate about smashing into these people. I was
really into football, and the helmet, dude. You gotta. I fuck people up helmet to helmet contact. It was just the most effective way to do it, and I'm sure I might have a little bit of brain damage. I stopped playing football seriously when I was 14, so maybe I wasn't big enough and strong enough yet by that point to really fuck myself up long term, whereas a lot of these guys that were playing from 16 to 32 or whatever. But I'm very much aware of the helmet to helmet contact and it being the most effective way to play the game. And when I used to play defensive end and defensive tackle, and if you fucking slam a quarterback into the dirt helmet to helmet, you blindside him, then that affects his performance throughout the entire game. You might not have hurt him permanently, but he's they call it hearing footsteps, where quarterbacks they get a little anxious, after they've been sacked a few times. They start hearing shit in their head. They think somebody's coming and they're not, and it causes them to play shittier because you hit them. You fucking rocked their world in the first quarter. They're playing like shit in the third quarter.
I will say I've never heard that before.
Yeah, it's called.
I'm not doubting you, but I've never I watch football game and I go, oh, guy hit guy, good. Look how fucking brutal that was. That's my perspective of it. I've never had anybody sort of be like, yeah, that guy's fucked up for a while because how hard you tackle him and what angle they get hit by. If you
Google search quarterbacks hearing footsteps, it's just this. It's essentially a psychological like trick, almost where your brain doesn't want you to get hit again. Like it's just natural. It's natural for you to be worried about like, oh, this guy just came and fucked me up. And now I've got to do the same fucking play over again. Like your brain's going to condition you to get rid of the ball faster and to make a bad pass. Like it's the quarterback pressure. It's a real thing.
Yeah, never would have thought of that. I just like seeing humans smash into each other.
Oh, it's so entertaining, man. But
yeah.
And I don't think the NFL should go away. Like we have boxing, we have UFC. We know that those two things very much give you brain damage. They just fucking do. And that's why they make the money they make.
I feel like it's more of a...
It's a limited time thing. Like you're taking a chance. You're gambling.
Yeah, I think the only reason we're having a conversation about it at this point is because we've noticed in athletes as they age, it gets really bad. But a lot of what I think is fueling this whole like, well, then football shouldn't be played. Kids shouldn't be playing football. That's more of a PC thing. That's what these fucking, or not PC, but like PG shit, where they're like, well, there's a slight danger my son will never go to the NFL and make $1 million, but he'll suffer from all these head injuries. Whereas you could pull him out, it's like you got a better chance of having a career.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Your post-university career or something.
Yeah, and there's no way you can change the game for it not to happen. Like people seem to think that it's the big hits that do it, like the big punt returns where you have the guys sprinting down the field, going full speed and fucking colliding on kickoff returns and stuff like that.
Yep.
That's not the issue. Like, yeah, that doesn't help. But it's just at every play. It's the defensive lineman and the offensive lineman that just clash thousands and thousands of times with these relatively minor hits, but it's just over and over and over and over and over again. And you just can't. You can't get around that. The game would have to change dramatically for you to be able to get around that. I think as somebody that played football, I think a softer helmet would lessen that because if the helmet was soft and it fucking... obviously, you can't play with no helmets. With no helmets, that would be bad. Because then you could like shoulder ram somebody in the head and fuck them up. But if it was a soft helmet to where you just couldn't use your head as a weapon, I think that would get rid of a lot of the helmet-to-helmet contact. But when they're using these hard plastic with metal face masks, and dude, you can just fuck somebody up with a football helmet. If you swing a football helmet like a club, you could kill somebody. Like these fucking helmets are legit, and they're padded so well that you can use them as a weapon.
That's what it was. The Texas law was. I'm looking at it right now. It's you're allowed to openly carry a football helmet on your head.
Oh yeah,
attack people. Yeah,
dude. Football in Texas is unreal. You know that the high school teams in Texas play in like college quality stadiums?
Oh yeah, I know. I've seen it.
Yeah, like Texas football is really at a whole new level. Like if you compare the rest of the country to Texas, like the best teams in Texas could beat all the other teams in the U.S. Like football is life over there. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, they are passionate about a lot of weird shit.
Football,
like how big their barbecues are. Yeah, can you eat all this? You better. There's a restaurant in Texas. I forget where it is, but and there's probably more than one of these. But you go there, you take the challenge. You have to eat like a fucking 2-pound steak, a bunch of potatoes, and
it's like however many ounces. It's like 90 some ounces. It's like fucking absurd.
It's a lot of food. And they're like, if you can finish it in 2 hours.
Boogie did that shit. He made a video, and he's on the Hall of Fame. Yeah, from like 10 years ago.
Him. Oh my god. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't be able to do it nowadays because I cannot insert a lot of food in my body before I get full nowadays. But that's wild. That's like almost 2 pounds of food. It's just
it's way more than 2 pounds.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like 8 pounds. It's absurd. It's like one of those things that it's crazy. But if I had to live somewhere else other than Virginia, I think Texas would be a strong pick. I think that if I had to, like, I'm fine with where I'm at right now because the cost of living is cheap, but I think like Austin, Texas would be pretty chill. Despite Texas being a little crazy in some regards, it is, I don't know. I don't think they're too bad.
And I hear Austin's like the growing part of tech.
Austin is where like a lot of game developers are. A lot of tech stuff's out in Austin, but also it's not douchey. It's not like San Francisco. Like fuck that shit. Like I've never been to San Francisco, but I have a very clear idea of what it's like already. I'm just gonna judge all people from San Francisco without ever being there, but I just have a feeling the culture there is not something I would mesh very well with. Whereas in Texas, I think I'd get along all right.
Yeah, as a white man, you would be okay in Texas.
Yeah.
As a straight man, you wouldn't be okay in San Diego or whatever.
No, I don't think they fucking hate straight people. Even though it is the gayest, even though San Francisco is the gayest place on earth, I don't think they.
It's Francisco.
Fuck these straighties.
Look at these normies, man. They're so
normies.
insensitive.
That's one of my favorite words of all time. Fucking normies. It's got to be up there. Good old 4chan coming in strong with the terminology. Normies. Anyway, I think I'm all out of shit I want to talk about. And we're ranting about normies at this point. Unless you have anything that you want to hit on before we end it.
I will promise to try and have more topics of my own this next week, seeing as how I will be fine. I probably won't be running around looking for a job too much. Just take a little breather to unwind.
I'd still stay on it, man.
Well, I'm going to stay on it, but I'm not going to run around in fucking -2-degree weather going like, hi, how are you? Hey, who? But there's a sushi joint up the street. I might have mentioned this in the last podcast. They're opening. We didn't know when they were going to open. We thought they'd open up in the summer. They're actually opening on Monday, and
get on that.
It's awesome.
Man.
They say now hiring, and I think they're going to hire. Hopefully, they don't have to stereotypically hire an Asian person. But I do have a beard, so
I'd jump on that shit. I wouldn't wait. Oh, yeah. Get on it, man.
I'll be there first thing.
You'll feel a lot better once you have like some stable, like steady income coming in.
Yeah. I know it.
I know when I got like, even though I do all right on YouTube, but it is nice. I get paid weekly, and I know what I'm getting paid every week, and it's fucking nice. Like, it's just nice to know, like, hey, I've got XXX hundred amount of dollars coming in this week,
and you're good at what you do. You feel good about it.
Yeah. It's just nice to know, like, and especially like now that I'm investing in the stock market and shit, it's just nice to know, like, hey, I've got this coming in for sure. To have that like consistency. Whereas with YouTube, it's just like you can make a shitload of money and then make no money the next month because the fucking ads didn't pay out that well because it's January, or you can make so much money in December and then it just fucking tanks. Whereas with my normie job now, it's like nice and consistent, and yeah, it's good. Yeah. So you'll feel good when you get that, and I wouldn't rest on your laurels just because you've got some money now, for sure. But I'm glad you got paid.
I don't consider it resting on my laurels. It's just I'd rather not run around in the freezing cold for a couple of days.
Does your car not work?
My car doesn't turn on unless somebody jumps it.
Oh,
I'm not kidding. It didn't turn on for 4 days.
Is that like?
That's what I said in the very beginning of the podcast.
Is that just because it's that cold, or is there actually something wrong with your car?
Yeah, the battery's like, nope, fuck you. I can't create a charge. Fuck you. I'm dead. And it's not a dead battery; it just needs a charge. But if it's warmer, then it'll work. Yeah, fine? When it's warmer, it'll work. Yes, like once it's on and you let it run for 10 minutes, you can go around to places. Like I made like 3 or 4 stops today after the bank, and every stop, I felt the car struggling more and more to turn.
Just because it was getting colder and colder.
Because it's just like, cool, you jumped me, but it's also fucking cold.
How cold is it over there?
Well, today was a decent day. Let me look at my phone. The high was 21. Nope, never mind. That was yesterday. The high was 9 degrees and the low was -14 degrees.
Oh, that is fucking cold.
Yes.
The high was 9 and the low. Holy shit. I didn't realize it was that fucking cold.
This is just what happens in Minnesota. It's like tolerable, and then all of a sudden, for like 2 months, 2.5.
Yeah. I don't know.
And my battery
doesn't cost that much, though.
My battery is brand fucking new, my friend, as of
really?
Last year. Well, wow. The battery that I had in the car previously was the first and only battery the car ever had. And that car is a 96. So it never had a new battery, but it wasn't driven all that much either. It wasn't in bad shape when we removed it. It just died naturally. So I got last year I had some money. I think I spent like $300 or something on like a decent battery. And they said, yeah, this thing will last you, especially if you don't drive all that often. It'll last you. And so I'm like, all right, cool. It's just the fact that it's cold.
That is so fucking cold.
You got to keep this in. You have to keep this in mind. In Minnesota, it's normal to plug your car into an electric outlet at night.
Just so you don't have to deal with that shit?
Just so that, it basically runs an electric current through parts of the car to keep it warm.
So what temperature, like, if it's like 10 degrees outside, your car will start, though?
No. If it was negative something overnight, and then during the day, the high only was like 14, it won't start. It's got to hit like 25 degrees and be that way for like a couple of days straight. To where
I'm just curious what the threshold is to where it doesn't start, because I'm not.
It sucks. I actually want to invest in getting... Is this a common
problem that a lot of people have in Minnesota, where their car just doesn't start?
Yep.
Wow.
I don't give a fuck what kind of battery you have, man. If your car won't start because it's too cold. When I was a kid...
Oh, so even like brand new cars just...
Yep.
Wow. Yeah. That's crazy. I've never had to deal with that.
It's pretty fucked. It really is. It's kind of stupid. But there was a time when I was a kid where they never cancel school here, by the way. If fucking 5 feet of snow happens overnight, school's not canceled.
They cancel snow if somebody pisses on the road over here.
They cancel snow.
They cancel snow.
They canceled school in the 90s one year, like in 98 or something, because none of the school buses would turn on because it was so cold. It was negative 37 degrees.
That is so
and so they're like, yep, cancel school. But that was only one day. The next day, boom, school's on. So it's like, it gets really cold here. It sucks. Don't move here. No one should live here. People who live here are crazy.
Is there no way you can like put your car in a place to where it does? I don't know how.
Oh, you mean like something called a garage?
No, maybe like you can't hook your car up to a wall. There's not like a wall, an outside outlet or anything.
No, there's no outlets in the parking lot or anything like that.
That fucking sucks. There's
normally
like no
people
way you can there's like nothing you can do about that. That's just shit.
Nothing. And I mean, when you said like, does this happen to everybody's car? It happens to everybody's car if you don't plug it in and you're not inside a garage.
Is there any way you can like open the hood up and like put something on the battery to make it warm up? Like, I know it sounds stupid, but
there is a jump starter.
Surely somebody makes something that is like that, though.
There's a self jump starting kit that you can get, which is like basically another battery. It's like a charge.
Yeah.
You put it on, you set it down, you hook it up to your battery, and you let it charge, and then it goes, and it's like, okay, I'm charging your battery. Then you go and you crank it, and it'll turn it over. I think that's something I should invest in.
Yeah, I would get that.
But it's
that
not
can't cost that much.
Those things are not cheap, though.
Really?
Mm-hmm. They're like $300 to $400.
Wow.
So, but I mean, if you're in the middle of nowhere and you're stranded, to save your life, but I don't drive her. There's a solution. Know. There's a solution. It's just too expensive. I'll just deal with it as the climate changes.
You gotta have a car.
Oh yes, trust me. You gotta have a car.
Even if it does cost a lot of money, like surely you're losing money by not being able to go and find a job because you don't have access to
my car's all paid off. So I'm solid.
Well, no, I mean
it's the principle.
I mean like the fact that you don't have access to your car is costing you money because you can't go and find a job because it's negative 2 degrees outside.
For this like week, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I keep up with people, but I mean, there and quite honestly, there hasn't been that many like job fair things happening while the car hasn't been able to turn on. So it's like, okay, I mean, I can call people up and be like, hey, what's up? But I'm still alive, that sort of thing. But they require you to have reliable transportation, and when it's not reliable, you feel bad.
Yeah, where I'm at, where I work, you have to have a driver's license for essentially every single thing you do at Harvey's. You have to have a driver's license. There's like, you just can't not have one. My plan of attack for probably Monday, Tuesday will be to get liability insurance on the car. Yeah, you gotta have that. Then apply over at Domino's and be like, yo, what up? I'm really good driving, and making pizzas is fucking, anybody could do that. So let's fucking do it. I would be an awful delivery driver. I'm like directionally retarded. I am too, but if I got a GPS, I'd be fine. My only drawback is that I don't have an iPhone 6 or like a modern smartphone, because you could just like open Google Maps and be like, take me here, and then it gives you the directions like a GPS. The iPhone 4 doesn't do that. So I actually I'm one of those people where it's like, I don't know street names. Like, I've lived in Radford my whole life pretty much, and I don't know street names. Like, if somebody's like, how do I get to this place? I'm like, go to the fucking McDonald's and take a right. I'm not like, go on this street and then take a right on this street. Like, I just don't know the street names.
Right. That's what I mean. GPS all the way for me. I've lived here a long time. I don't know my way around, specifically streets and shit like that. But it's like somebody lives blah, blah, blah. Type it in on the GPS, take the directions, boom, you're there, get paid. Simple. Yep. I actually went to the pawn shop today as one of my stops to just sort of see like if they had an iPhone 6 used and how much it was selling for. $325. And I talked to my friend
who... What the fuck? At a pawn shop? That's fucking stupid.
It is really high. Welcome to where I live. So yeah, it's used, and I talked to my friend who worked at AT&T for a while, and I'm like, "What's the price on what do you think a relatively good price for an iPhone 6 would be right now?" And he's like, "Oh, 200-ish," and I'm like, "Okay." So I'm probably just going to wait.
You could just get an actual GPS device. They're not that expensive anymore.
Mm-hmm. But my thought process was that if a GPS device costs me like $175, because I've seen them, and an iPhone 6 costs me $200, I would just get the phone because it'd be better for my vlogs. I've been doing these different kind of vlogs with the phone because everyone's like, vlogs, do vlogs. I don't care what the fuck they are, do them. And I'm like, fine. So I'm recording things as I think of something to talk about instead of recording throughout the day and having a topic to talk about all day because literally I have nothing to talk about.
Yeah, there's GPSs that go for like $50 to $60 now.
I would get a middle of the road one just because it's without it I can't do my job if I were to get hired as a driver. It's like this thing and my car need to be working or I don't get paid. So I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can actually make good money as a delivery driver too.
I've been keeping in contact with the guy. His name is like Dylan, and he runs the Domino's. And I've just been calling him up, letting him. He's like, "Yeah, it's me. I'm working on it, dude. Don't worry." And he's like, "All right, cool. You never know who might quit this job, and I might need you." And I'm like, "All right, cool, dude." But then again, I can also apply at like Jimmy John's and other Pizza Hut.
Dude, Jimmy John's is off the fucking chain.
Yeah, Jimmy John's.
Those people take their fucking job seriously. I put out a tweet. The Jimmy John's actually responded to me on their official fucking Twitter. Because I put out... Let me find the tweet. Holy shit. Dude, I literally ordered something from fucking Jimmy John's, and it got there in like 3 fucking minutes. It was like unreal. Let me try to find this shit. Actually blew my mind. Jimmy... Here, let me find it.
My friend was in the Dallas-Fort Worth airport, and he tweeted me saying, "I'm on my way home. I'll talk to you on Skype later at Dontain, #DFW airport." And Dallas-Fort Worth airport automatically tweeted him back saying, like, "Thanks, man. We're really glad you like using our airport."
Yeah,
and then he got it. Yeah. What? No, you linked it? Yeah.
Yeah. Holy shit. The people at Jimmy John's take their jobs pretty seriously. 4 sandwiches got here in 6 minutes. That actually happened.
Fast on our feet, not the street. It's the only way it roll. Freak you out? Question mark. Yeah, I mean that's cool. They've probably got somebody who manages that sort of
thing. But it's funny that they responded to that to my tweet in like 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just, I don't know. I just like that. They pride themselves on being fast at everything, and they fucking are. Like their delivery is fucking fast. Shit gets there like instantly.
So, yeah, and when my friend got that tweet when he was at the airport, I was like, wow, he was freaking out. Like, oh my God, can you believe that? They tweeted me back. And I'm like, they'd probably tweet everybody back. And so I replied to his tweet saying like, yeah, man, I've been to Dallas-Fort Worth airport before. It's really clean and everybody who works there is really nice. And they fucking retweeted me immediately going like, yeah, man, thanks. We really tried our best. And I'm like, see, dude, you're not special. But still, to have a response like that, that's really good for customer service.
I just thought it was funny that they responded like in 30 seconds too on Twitter. I just like that because I don't know, it's just cool. Good shit. Jimmy John's gets the fucking Zybak seal of approval along with a few other products. I think I'm gonna do that.
I'll sell out for you, Jimmy John's. You're good shit,
dude. I'll do it for the fucking sandwiches. You don't even need to pay me. Just give me some fucking sandwiches. Shit, it's so good. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to make like a Zybak Gold Star list of just like random products and things that I endorse that I'm not paid for. Like these pillows are on there.
Oh, the pillows. Dude, I read comments about people talking about your fucking pillows.
People bought those pillows. Great. I bet I sold fucking 10 of those pillows. Yeah, seriously. Right. There was a guy that tweeted me a picture of his pillow. He's like, dude, I ordered this pillow and it's godly. Let me try to find it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Here it is. Right here.
We've got Stroke over here at Hive Mind Podcast, man. We talk about one product.
Sean is yo daddy on Twitter. You made the pillow sound so great during the apartment tour, so I had to get one myself. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he said, it's freaking amazing. It feels like I'm sleeping on a marshmallow.
Oh, yeah. I see that.
It's good shit, man. Good shit. So, yeah, this... I'm all out of topics, even though we went on for another, 20 minutes about random shit. But that's how we roll on the podcast.
Only 10 minutes. When it reaches 3 hours, I tend to get a little okay, we need to maybe wrap this.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no, good shit today. And tomorrow or next week will be number 10.
10 in a row,
and then
hopefully.
We'll figure out you go do that gaming thing. So when you go do that thing, you're gonna bring your camera and make videos hey, cool, check it out. Cool.
A real tripod that's probably 6 feet tall, if you fully extend it, if you wanted to. And I've got my 4K camera. It's all legit. So hopefully I can get that done. So if you have any questions about Paragon that you would like asked to a developer, let me know in the comments down below. I'm probably going to make a video talking about this when the time gets a little closer, just to remind people. No guarantees. I have no idea how this thing's going to go down, but I'm hoping I can talk to a developer and lock them down, because this is a community event. They're not inviting me there because of charity. They know I'm obviously going to make videos about this shit. They're not spending all this money to put me up in a hotel and do all this shit just because they think I'm really cool. And they want me to check their game.
They definitely want you to be positive about it.
They definitely want me to be at least talking about it, for sure.
Do you have a handheld? I think
they've actually got something really cool. Do
you have a handheld microphone?
I don't.
Oh man, you might want to pick one of those up. How are you going to ask a question without a microphone, man?
Oh, you're talking about from looking official?
No, I mean so that you can get the audio of you asking them a question. What are you going to do? Put your camera up in their face and be like, "Hi, we're here," and then in the background is
set the camera up on a tripod and just talk.
Good luck. I hope it works out. My advice: get a fucking microphone that you can hold in your hand and plug into your camera.
Yeah,
because if there's going to be sounds and shit everywhere,
it's not going to be I really don't think it's going to be that big of a deal.
We'll find out.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to it.
We're at Hive Mind number 12, and I put those videos out, and all you hear is just ambient noise. You can't even hear him talking. It's
Zybak there
with the fucking microphone.
Yeah.
So what do you think about the game?
Yeah. Yep.
All right, so you got anything you want to pimp out before we close this shit down?
Oh, yeah, as always, go to twitch.tv.com. No, don't do that. Twitch.tv/Dontain. I live stream. I've been live streaming every day. I take 1 or 2 days off, but mostly I stream Fridays and Saturdays. Obviously, the podcast.
You gonna make any videos?
I've got a backlog. I've got a backlog of videos on the stream. I explain exactly what I'm trying to do with my channel. Some people have said that they don't think it's the right thing to do. Some people have said, please don't do that. But it's really sort of what?
What do you?
Because I'm known as that Guild Wars 2 guy, and my channel can't grow. We've talked about this, you and I, off the podcast. So, but yeah, videos sometime soon, hopefully. I mean, I've got some stuff done, but I really dislike the fact that if I put a lot of effort into a video that's not Guild Wars 2, it gets ripped apart and eviscerated with a bunch of thumbs downs, and people go, hey, this isn't Guild Wars 2. Where the fuck's the Guild Wars 2? Well, guess what? I'm no longer Guild Wars 2 YouTuber, so you're going to have to fucking deal with that. Unfortunately, I don't feel like having to go through that process. You object to that, but if I have to, I'll make a brand new fucking channel. And I'll start from scratch, and I have no problem with that. I just don't like the toxicity of the people who leave comments and whatnot on my videos in recent videos, which are basically really fun Fallout videos that I made. And it's like, well, if they were well received, you would have seen more videos, except you all screamed for Guild Wars 2 like a bunch of little children, when in fact Guild Wars 2 is a game you can't even fucking make a video about.
Yeah.
There's nothing to talk about. So anyway, yes, twitch.tv/Dontain. Come check out the streams as often as you can. Follow me on Twitter at Dontain, Dontain, on the screen.
Yep, it's on the screen, so check that out. Leave your questions about Paragon down below if you have any. I just make YouTube videos every now and then, so check it out.
And if you think that there's a topic we might want to talk about, go ahead and leave that as well.
Good fucking call, yes.
That was very helpful.
Podcast suggestions, seriously. We look at the comments, and we appreciate them, because sometimes there's not a lot of stuff to talk about. And
we we can't see everything that's going on. So if you bring something to our attention and that we didn't know about, we're excited to talk about it.
Yeah, like the people that PM me that stuff about Sweden
absolutely.
a few days ago. That kind of stuff, very helpful. So if you have anything you want us to talk about, let us know. And yeah, that's it. Hope you enjoyed Hive Mind number 9, and we'll see you again next week. This is Chad from ISIS. Whenever Chad's not busy terrorizing the free world, he's watching YouTube videos and not leaving likes or comments. Don't be like Chad. Leave a like and let me know what you think of this video in the comments down below. Also, be sure to subscribe, or you might as well just fly off to Syria and join ISIS yourself.